lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
All right, everybody, here we go. Welcome back to Sports Cards Live. This is the November PWCC Premier Extended Bidding Watch Party. We have my friend Adam Gray. We're going to bring him out right now. Let's get it started. And I do want to say thanks, everybody, for being patient. No show last week as I was at the expo, but we are back tonight. And Adam, how are you doing?
I'm great. I've been looking forward to this the whole day. We have some fun things in store for everybody, so I think we're all excited for today. It's a big day. 274 auctions. It's gonna be awesome.
274 high-end listings on the Premier Auction this month. You said we have some things in store, and what you're referring to is the fact that we've gone through these listings. We've gone through them and each selected our top 10 favorite cards of the night of the monthly Premier. So. I don't know about you, Adam, but when I did it, I went through and my first pass, I had 29 that made my first pass. What was your first pass like?
Yeah, I got about halfway through and I had 18 and realized that I had a problem. But I got to just tell everybody, Jeremy and I are like just a second late because we were like in a full-on argument over like one of my cards that's on the list and one of the cards that I think it's more interesting than. And I'm getting messages from people who disagree with me. So it's fun when we disagree about these things, but we should say how we feel, Jeremy. We should say how we feel, even if people think we're crazy. So,
well, like I said before we came live, Adam, you are entitled to be wrong. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And hey, maybe we'll get used to that. Even who knows? But why don't you talk a little bit about these two cards, because it is exciting. I mean, they're two of the greatest cards in the auction tonight. I would think to me, it's an obvious. To me, it's obvious which is the better of the two. And even right now by the bids, if I'm just sort of cheating and looking, I do believe that the one I believe is the better card is currently holding the higher bid. Why don't you talk about them?
I also think that it's obvious, but I think that you're wrong. So the two cards that we're talking about, you should pull them up while we talk.
I will.
The two cards that we're pulling up or that we're talking about are the 2003 Exquisite LeBron limited logo, which is a 9.5, which really sets it apart from other limited logos.
You mean MJ? You mean MJ?
Did I say LeBron? Well,
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad on that. This card, so just so everybody knows, like I bought the most expensive card I've ever bought last week, and it was a Michael Jordan autograph patch. I love this card. I think it's a fantastic card. But to me, this isn't the best card in the auction. To me, the best card or the most interesting card in the auction is the Kevin Durant. I have no reason to say this. I don't even know who's the seller. I don't know anything about it, but to me, that's the best Kevin Durant card. It's his exquisite gold. It's a BGS 9, and the equivalent of that is a LeBron James that sold like 6 months ago now for over $4 million, right? It's a card that's numbered to his jersey number. It's a great patch on the Durant. And to me, that's the coolest card. It's one of the coolest cards in this auction. It's not my favorite card in this auction. We're going to, like Jeremy said, we're going to count down our 10 favorite cards. I'll just ruin it right now and tell you this is my number 2 favorite card in the auction. But to me, this is a way in Durant's canon of important cards. This is his best, most important card. Whereas the Jordan, which is unworldly, incredible, amazing, it's not close to his best card. It's not in the same world. So for me, this is a more important card for a Durant collector than the Jordan is for a Jordan collector, and that's why I like it a lot more.
I mean, you make a good point, but I think the fact of the matter is that Michael Jordan cards across the board are just so much more popular than Kevin Durant cards, and the 03 Exquisite limited logos is among his best cards ever made. I mean, limited logos have a ton of brand equity. 2003 Exquisite, number could be arguably the best set of sports cards ever made. There's so much going for it there. And Kevin Durant, I mean, I understand he's pretty popular, but to me, there's so many players that I would collect ahead of Kevin Durant. So many players, top cards I would want ahead of Kevin Durant's, including one of my favorite cards in the auction tonight, which is one of the Giannis Immaculate RPA, which is one of my favorite cards to look at. So I'm going to let's let the bidders decide and have kind of the third tiebreaker vote between you and me as to which card is better. And, of course, it's so subjective, but we'll see at the end which one goes for more. Which one do you think is going to sell for more tonight, Adam? The Michael Jordan or the Kevin Durant?
I really don't know. I really don't. I wouldn't be surprised at either one. Some of these Durants over the course of the last year or two have gone absolutely bananas. And so I really won't be shocked if this does some things that really surprise people tonight. Clearly right now, the Jordan's by far away in the lead. But you remember when we saw the Jordan exquisite stuff that was 3 months ago, as we watched on the same PWCC auction night, we were just flabbergasted by how high some of that stuff went. And this is a 9.5, right? Like this is a huge, huge Jordan card. So, it won't shock me if the Jordan just blows the Durant away, but honestly, the Durant, it won't surprise me whatever that does.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I'm going to go to some comments here. We haven't done that yet. Starting here at the one of the most recent one, Jared says, interesting, me going Giannis over KD bold. And, it's not that I don't recognize what Durant has done, but when I watch him play, when I watch him walk around the court, I don't find him to be a very sexy player. He doesn't, I don't see the athleticism there. I don't know. I see Giannis has way more athleticism. He's just more of an athlete, where Durant is built like more of a shooter. And I think this is going to sound silly too, but I think Durant has this crazy advantage just because he's like 8.5 feet tall. And, so I don't know. He's never been a player that when I see him makes me think, oh, that's somebody who I want to collect. Whereas Giannis clearly is. Plus, if you're going in with Giannis now, you've got his whole career ahead of him still. Well, not his whole career, I guess, but you got more years left to be a fan of his and to ride that cardboard train, if you will.
Durant could still finish as the all-time leading scorer, Jeremy. He's one of the best players we've ever seen. He's already on a lot of people's top 10 lists ever. He's not on mine. He's 11 or 12. He's great. And this is a mint card, one of his literally his best card, his exquisite rookie number to his jersey number. It's just a fantastic card. Everybody's gonna think I'm hyping it. I don't know who owns it. I don't have anything that's like it, but I love that.
Let me put it this way then, and this isn't me I'm not trying to be hard on the guy. I know he's a great player and he's got a ton of fans and he's worthy of all the dollars this card is going to get. But, as a collector, he's not even on my target list of a player whose card I want to own, just for me. I got Steph Curry. There's a guy who's on my list of a card I want to own. That's a guy who I don't have a card of his. And I've been talking to this commenter right here, Joe. Joe's been saying to me, you got to get a Curry. You got to get a Curry. He's been telling me for months now. Well, about 6 weeks. When you get in your Curry, it's yeah, I'll eventually, hopefully, unless I'm priced out, which I might be, but we'll see. Anyway, good evening to you, Joe. We got Dennis. We got Bromf. I got to meet in person at the expo for the first time. Thank you, Bromf. Great to see you. Birds on a Bat said, rumor has it Adam's knee deep in Jordan autos these days. Something true about that. Willie T wants me to show up my expo pickups. Probably not going to get to that tonight, but we will in due course, Willie. I promise. Tom Bullard, good evening. Jeremy Pringle, blinding 90s. We got Troy in the house. Good evening, Troy. Birds in the Bat wants to know about the 7 of the 23 Upper Deck game jerseys that Golden posted all together. Yeah, I think we can all agree that was ridiculous. Card Lover, LeBron Ultimate Rookie Horizontal Low BGS 9. Mark Dirth says, Adam is correct. The best card of a player who will end up top 10 of all time. Vote for you, Adam. Right there. Studio Sports. I haven't had the Muskoka coffee yet. Still got to get a coffee grinder, but thank you for the gift. Much appreciated. Fulcher votes for Jordan. Einstein votes for Jordan. What do the boys think about James Wiseman? I'll let you take this one, Adam. What do you think about James Wiseman?
I don't have any opinions yet.
Isn't he Canadian?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
Jared says interesting. Yeah, okay, we did that one already. Hello, Eric. Also got to meet. It's fun. I was at the expo last weekend in Toronto, everybody, and I got to meet a ton of viewers and Instagrammers and all that other YouTubers over for the first time. So that was awesome. Thanks everybody who did show up, come by my booth, bought a card from me, traded with me, and just said hello. That was great. That was great. Blinding 90 says that Durant being the Grail rookie card takes the cake.
And he's smart. He's smarter than I am. So you know that's a good comment.
Todd McDonald, good evening. And yes, great to chat with you too. James Mann says Durant has one of the nicest jumpers in the game, but he doesn't even have to jump. Does Durant even have to jump? I don't think he jumps. He can shoot from everywhere. Fun to watch. Okay, so can Steph. So can Steph. Scott Cause says Durant didn't win until he played with Curry and Thompson. Giannis was the man. Giannis over KD is the easy call. See, that's kind of where I lead. Giannis is the man. Although I was watching them play the other night, and that Chris Middleton guy, wow, can he shoot?
Yep.
He's awesome too. Chris Middleton can shoot. Here we go. Giannis is an athlete. Durant is a hooper. That makes sense to me. Giannis is taller. See, I didn't realize that. I thought Durant to me just looks like he's literally 8.5 feet tall.
They're close. They're really close.
Well, maybe Thomas has the stats or Googled it and happens to know. Baseball card curmudgeon. Good evening. Tyler says Durant is one of the greatest players ever and the best scorer in the league right now, but he rubs people the wrong way. That could be a part of it for sure.
Yep.
But so we have some more. Birds makes more comment. Hello to Luigi. Great to see you. Jeff McMahon. Sanderson to Orr. You got to get a Curry. You got to get a Curry. Yari Curry, the hockey player, versus Steph Curry, of course.
I got it.
Of course.
You got it.
Brady rookie card refractor is the grail in this auction. There's another Brady that I have on my list tonight. Actually, it's not the refractor, but I think is a very cool card. Skeppy says he bets I get a KD before a Stavler. Probably true. Jordan Riker, good evening, long time, says hello, good to see you. And Adam Holgate, good evening to you. Boston Authentic in the house. All right, well, Adam, let's take a look at the auction. Let's see, because I do, as you know, I love how we have the top, this top tracker here showing the last 5 or so bids. And here we go. Like even this card right here, dual scripted swatches, LeBron, Kobe, number 3 of 5. The autographs are on the jerseys here, and they're both still quite bold, not graded. The card itself isn't graded, just the autos are graded as authentic or certified as authentic. I mean, it's funny. We just land here and we see this card. I find it very interesting, especially since, we're not seeing any more Kobe autos come out. What do you think of this card, Adam? What's the significance of a card like this?
Well, there's another card in this auction that's a LeBron Kobe. People think of it like it's a duel. And the reason that it sells so much is because it features the two of them, right? And that I mentioned that one to illustrate why this card is so unique, because that other card, it's numbered to 50, and people think of it as I'm talking about the 2008 Topps Chrome Gold. People think of that as like being like a really iconic card, but this is just straight up rare and awesome, right? It's maybe not as known. It's definitely not as known of a card as that other one. But like you're getting both their autographs on game used patches, serial number to 5, out of what was widely considered the greatest basketball product of all time. Maybe not in the 2003 rookie year, but you just notice that star right there. That's amazing, man. Like that, I think that means it's probably, what does that mean? Like it's from an all-star jersey or something. The star number to 5, exquisite. Both autographs look great. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, it is a beautiful card. I love how obviously it's this is from 03, I believe, correct? Or sorry, this is 07, but LeBron looks super young here. And yeah, you got 3 of those stars here, which I was trying to see what they were, and that's exactly what they are just stars on the what looks to be patch itself. So really cool card. All right, let's go back to here, see if there's been a few bids since. And wow, there's already been 4 bids. This Babe Ruth autograph card here, it made my top 29. But it didn't make my top 10 favorite cards in the auction. But let's have a look at what's going on here. I'm going to resort this by highest price. So this might take a second. There's the Brady refractor that was mentioned a few minutes ago as being one of the grails of the auction. I believe the highest priced item in the auction isn't even a sports card. It is a box of trading cards, TCGs, Pokemon, the 1999 first edition, so no surprise there. I believe you can get a 2 or 3 first edition Charizards in this box. So really not a shocker that that's what's there, but let's kind of move along and see. So we've got the Jordan that we're talking about. It's at 280, while the Durant is down here at 220 still. There's still time for that to change, of course. We're going to go into extended bidding here in about 13 minutes, as it says right here. If anybody is watching and you want to get a bid in, you want to qualify for extended bidding, you have to get your first bid in within the next 13 and a half minutes. And then we will be into the first hour of extended bidding, which will be exciting as always. So after the Jordan Exquisite, the 03 limited logos, we have the rookie card, the PSA 10, which is a staple for these auctions. There's usually a PSA 10 Michael Jordan rookie in these, and it's at 260. So, with the buyer's premium, we're already over 300,000 still on a Michael Jordan rookie. We'll see if that one gets any more bids. Adam, I know that this Kobe right here is one of your favorite cards. Why don't you speak to this one for a bit?
It's one of my favorite cards for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that I own one. It's definitely one of my most valuable cards. I have a BGS 9.5 with premium subs, so I'm closely watching this one. But this card is important because when you think about the bubble Lakers, the team that goes and wins the championship, the same year that Kobe tragically passes away. What I think about when I think about like a card that's interesting, that kind of encompasses that year and that season and all the crazy things that happened in that COVID year. This is that card. Lakers and gold go together. Kobe and gold cards, in my opinion, really go together. Those are some of my best cards are Kobe gold cards. And to get a card from 2008 where these two are going against each other, and they represent, I guess the key is they represent an entire era, right? Post Jordan, those are 1 and 2 right there. Those are the two guys that are the most collectible. Some people would say they're the best two. It's just an iconic quality image. That might be one to take a look at and rotate a little bit, Jeremy, because the shine on those 2008 chromes is amazing. And I think a lot of people would argue 2008 chrome is like one of the great years of photography. This is also the year where you've got the LeBron, chalk toss where he's throwing that in the air, and a bunch of other cards that are just awesome. So that's definitely one of my favorite cards of the auction.
I think it's a gorgeous card too. I love the image. I think that as far as just, and it comes in so many different variations in that, but I agree with you, Adam, in terms of the importance of it. It's not that much fun to turn this one. It'd be better if it was sort of if it was on its side, so you could look at the image the way the image is meant to be looked at, but it's still nice. It is nice to see the shine. It is nice to see the shine on the gold. It's might be a little bit slow just because I got so much going on here right now, but it's just a beautiful card, and the image, those two players, like you said, and it's strong coverage there too, right? It's not like it's not like they're just in the image together. LeBron is all over Kobe, and Kobe is saying, "Nuh-uh, my ball." So I do really like that card as well. I wanted to talk about the Mickey Mantle though for a moment, because this card, as I recently learned from our friend Sean from Victory Investments, who on his Instagram just today or yesterday described the two different versions or variations of the 52 Topps Mickey Mantle card. And this one, I believe, is the type B, Adam. There's a type A and a type B. And the difference being that I think the type A is the more common one, where this black line along the bottom here doesn't exist. And
I didn't read closely enough. I know there's something with the dot. There's a dot on the left side of the card.
Yeah.
And there's a pixel that's different. I thought it was interesting that there were two different ones, but I didn't really get into which one was rarer.
So the more common one, I believe, has a pixel missing up here. Not this one here. I don't think, somewhere else. But it also, as I mentioned, it's missing the bottom black line of the Yankees logo, the black frame around it. There's some action going on over here as well. And then on this version, you also, the pixel that's missing, he's talking about this one right here on the bottom of the border. You can see as I zoom in that this angle isn't perfect. There's something missing there. So I prefer this version because I like the black border around the Yankees logo, as well as the there not being a mixing pixel in the blue over here. However, in this copy, there seems to be something going on over there. So I thought that was interesting. Anytime you're looking at a Mickey Mantle 52 tops in a PSA 7, you're looking at a true gem of a card. Boy, oh boy, would I like to own one of these. I'd even take a nice one if I could get even a nice authentic version. I would take of this card. I don't even mind if it's been trimmed, as long as it states that on the case, or at least the case says authentic. That would be good enough for me. But what an amazing card that is. So that's not right now. If we're going by the prices, we're at $340 on the Pokemon, $280 on the limited logos, $260 on the rookie. The dual we were just talking, the Kobe with LeBron's at $260, and we have what Josh referred to earlier tonight as another grail of the auction, which is the Tom Brady Chrome Refractor BGS 9.5. I mean, what an amazing card! Just stunning in its own right. It's at $240. There's your Durant right there, Adam, and then we get into Justin Herbert and Tom Brady. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the Justin Herbert. I think there's a lot of hype built into him right now, and maybe some future championships built in. $180,000 is a lot of money for this, I think. But hey, a lot of people know better than I do. But this card here, I do not think that's a lot of money for this card. Tom Brady's SP Authentic rookie card, numbered out of 1,250 in a BGS 10 pristine holder. There are 13 BGS 10s, which is a pretty big number for a card that's numbered out of 1,250, I believe. But what an amazing card. One that I don't own. I almost bought a PSA 9 several years ago, and I balked, and now I missed out. As we keep on going, lots of Mahomes shield cards or NFL logo cards. It seems to me like there's one or two of these for sale every month. We saw the big one sell at the National for over $4 million, and now we've seen a few more come through PWCC, including this one tonight. So, what do you? I mean, to me, Adam, the shield cards, they're awesome. I get it, but I don't know. They're not. I'd rather have a colorful logo patch for an RPA. How about you?
Yeah, I think, it's definitely just a question of tastes. And
fair
for me, when I think about a shield, and whenever I open my open mouth to talk about football, that whatever is going to come out may not be super beneficial because I just don't know football. But when I think about the shield, I think about the logo man in basketball. And what I see on this card is, okay, it's a Mahomes. I've actually heard of that guy, which is saying something for me. And I see that it's a rookie. It's autographed. It's from National Treasures. It's a 1/1. I mean, kind of what else is there? I guess this probably isn't the parallel to the rookie card, right? Like, so that means that it's not several $1 million. But as we talked about before, sometimes if you can't get the very best thing, sometimes there's an alternative that's pretty cool. And so if you think about Mahomes being like prospectively like one of the best players of all time, then this may be like some great investment piece for you. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you like who he played last week, who's going to play next week, or whether they have a chance to win. I don't know anything about football, but
and you're 5% of the value of what might be the true RPA 1/1 shield card. So I think when you mentioned that as there being some nice alternatives, I think this fits in as a perfect alternative to the actual 1/1 RPA 1/1 shield parallel, as this seems to be more of an insert type of card. So
that's right.
An amazing card, of course. And, if I were the owner of it, I'm sure I'd be very, very proud. But let's go to these next two cards, because first of all, the Jordan auto jersey, I recognize as an extremely important card, numbered out of 23. I'll let you talk about that in a second. But the card beside it, the Ultimate Collection LeBron James rookie card, to me, you talk about alternatives. If you can't afford and most people can't, a National Treasures LeBron James rookie card, well, to me, this is not National Treasures, exquisite. This Ultimate Collection is an amazing holding, because you are getting an on-card autograph. You're getting, it's a rookie card, of course. It's numbered out of 250, extremely limited, not nearly enough of those to go around. BGS 9.5, the 10 auto. I love that card. If I were to go out and buy a LeBron James rookie card, outside. I do have a couple, but if I were to go buy a big one, this would be the one that I would go for. I do like the SP Authentic as well, but that's out of 500, where this is out of 250. So to me, this card wins out. Adam, take over, speak to that, and then let's hear about the Jordan jersey auto.
Yeah, so it's rarer than the SP Authentic. It's also just a lot better looking card. And I'm not saying anything negative about the SP Authentic, but the blue on some of these autographs seems like it's held better on the Ultimate Collection. I don't know if that has something to do with the surface or whatever, but they're just bluer autographs in general. And then you got that more like, rather than like the flatter foil, you've got something that's, I don't know if it's really a hollow foil, but it's something that's closer to that. The Ultimate Collection's just, it's his second best rookie card. To me, I don't think it's close. And I did a poll earlier today that said, what would you rather have? The Topps Chrome Refractor BGS 10 or the Ultimate Collection? And I am firmly in the Ultimate Collections camp. Give me the Ultimate Collection all day long. That's still an incredible amount of money. Let's be real. But like, for sure, I would take that over the Chrome Refractor. The Jordan,
me too.
The Jordan, and as we go through here, just to let people see behind the curtain a little bit. If you see a card that's starred, that means that Jeremy and I one of us put it on our top 10 list. This is on my top 10 list, and I don't know exactly how you want to unveil that, Jeremy, but this card to me is really cool because it's Jordan's first autographed jersey where he's wearing a Bulls uniform. Everyone's aware of the card from the previous year. That's where he's in an all-star jersey. And that's one of the biggest cards in the world. They're all over $1 million now. They're huge, huge, huge cards. This isn't, right? It's not over $1 million. There are several versions of this card. So understand that there's not just one number to 23. I think there's 4 versions. I might be wrong about that. If somebody can put in the chat what the truth is about that, that would be great. But look, there's not a lot of original autographed jerseys of Jordan from his first year of autographed jerseys where he's a Bull. And so, like, it's a huge card. I love that card.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing card, no doubt. I'm a big fan of firsts, and so if it's his first autograph jersey card with a Bulls jersey, super important card. See, here's the Mahomes RPA where you've got the colors of the jersey versus the shield. Call me crazy. I prefer the looks of this card, and I'd rather have the RPA over that. But again, just me. We got a Kobe refractor, which is, we see these pretty regularly nowadays, and a PSA 10. We've got the LeBron Chrome refractor, BGS 10. Great cards all day long. Not much more we need to say about these cards. I don't think people pretty much have a good idea what they are. Adam, we have right here another starred card being one of your favorites in the auction, the 2000 Upper Deck Kobe game jersey auto, numbered 8 of 8 in the BGS 9 holder. Speak to that one.
In 2000, Upper Deck created the very first autograph patch cards. They set apart or segregated autograph patches different than autograph jerseys. And they made 4 players had original autograph patches. Those 4 players are Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, and Gary Payton. So Kobe Bryant's one of the 4 original autograph patches, and this is one of those cards. They made 3 different sets with autograph patches: Upper Deck 1, Upper Deck Series 2, and Ultimate Collection. So how's this for a stat, Jeremy? Kobe Bryant has 24 autograph patches from 2000 total, 8 of each of the 3 cards. So couldn't probably have foreseen that, but Kobe Bryant has 24 original autograph patches from that year. And this one being serial numbered 8 of 8, it's as good as it gets. It's it's an amazing piece of patch. The autograph is perfect. The card's a 9, and it's serial numbered 8 of 8. I could talk about that one for a while.
All right. Well, no, thanks for that. We are now into extended bidding. It just kicked in. So if you have bid on an item, you are now eligible for extended. If you have not bid on an item, you are now shut out. And it's good. Let's stay up here for a little bit and see where the bids are coming, because this is when the real action happens, I guess. This is when, if you're coming out serious to play, this is where we're gonna see the bids, and the winning bids are gonna start coming in. There we go. We already have one on your favorite card, Adam. KD's up to 240 now. One of my favorite cards is this Willie Mays 51 Bowman PSA 6 up to $28,000. Tom Brady Fleer auto gets a bid to $40,000. MJ auto. Nice looking card on card, of course. BGS 95 gets a bid of $18,000.
What Fleer case is that, Jeremy?
I don't know, but we can open it up and have a look.
270 something's a lot. We did our best. I know I looked through them 3 different times and I still didn't pick up everything. Oh, EX with Kobe's rookie. Yeah. That's fun.
That's crazy. Yeah,
So
what a beautiful
you don't
box.
get the original jambalaya, but you do get original Kobe rookies. You get the chance of credentials and a couple of inserts in there, the star dates, and
there's your Kobe auto patch, gets a bid to 90. The Mahomes RPA hits $100,000. Michael Platini. I'm sorry, or Michelle Platini. I'm not even familiar with that athlete. There's
Probably
a LaMelo. LaMelo National Treasures RPA comes in for $34,000. Numbered the gold out of 24. There's our shield. Hits 240. The 61 Wilt special card hits $14,000. I'm going to let this run for a minute, Adam, and just go to a few comments.
Sure.
Alex, this is a while ago, says, I like Giannis's personality. Seems like a happy guy. Like me too. Yeah. That makes a player more collectible to me. And we see one of my favorite cards in the auction, the Peyton Manning Essential Credentials. I absolutely love that card. Everything about it. Right to the skin tone color on the far, the peach colored acetate on the far right. I just love that card. Studio, I did not end up moving the OV Eagle Head. Birds on the Bat says, it fascinates me that we seem to see a lot more of these high-end multiplayer autos in basketball than other sports. They exist, sure, but they don't show up in these premium auctions as often. It's because they're not named MJ, Kobe, LeBron. I think it really just comes down to that simple fact. Goes on to say, where are the Griffey, Mays, Aaron autos in these auctions? I think it just comes down to what people are willing to spend. Another one of my favorites is this Michael Jordan EX Essential Credentials Future. I have this start. I love Essential Credentials, so I pretty much picked all of them in this auction and put them in my top 10 because they would be where I would put my money. Good Evening Collection SML. Criminal Mind, as did I put this Kobe in my favorites too. Criminal Mind doesn't understand what's so special about the 2008 Topps Chrome card, the Kobe LeBron. Besides it being numbered to 10, thinks it's way overpriced. Costs more than than a gold bar of gold. Well, I think if we're still comparing sports cards to gold bars of gold, we're you just got to accept it by now, Criminal Mind. No, those comparisons are kind of, why even bother anymore? Why even bother? It's just where the cardboard is worth more than gold now.
Hey, this Kobe that just got a bid is kind of interesting. That's another credentials. You probably don't like it as much because it's not an acetate, but do you know what's kind of a cool thing about that is it's serial numbered 281.
His record for points.
Yeah. And so that's one of those that sort of as time's gone by, you see it as a gold card numbered to 81.
Well, before it goes by, this credentials here is numbered to like 20 something, I believe.
17, I think.
17. This to me is one of my favorite cards in the whole auction.
That's one to watch in this next little while for that card could be interesting for sure.
Yeah. I have this Kobe on my top 10 list. I did cheat. Oh, and I have this Kobe on my top 10 list too, because it's absolutely stunning. Look at it. Like just look at it, everybody. Like
beautiful.
You got a nice 3-color patch with 5 breaks. You got the angle in there on card auto.
Another card from your top 10.
Another card. Everyone's bidding. I swear it's not me bidding. I would love to, but that Ray Allen is it just got 2 bids, it looks like. I love this. Ray Allen's one of my favorite players of all time.
Hey, Jeremy, did you put 274 cards on your top 10 list?
I probably could have. Like I said, I started with 29, and then I came down to my top 10, which was actually top 11, but I cheated because in a couple of the spots I had 2 cards.
Hey, that Steph is on my top 10 list, so I need to stop talking.
Yeah, well, maybe we're maybe we're thinking like a lot of the bidders are. So kind of neat for sure. Tom says blue ink is king. It always does look good. June says there are 6 variants of the MJ jersey auto.
June is an expert, so trust him on that. And that's now, having said that though, like that doesn't mean it's not worth something. Like again, people think about 97 and 98 being like playing days years. Jordan was officially retired in 98, but we kind of think of it that way. Like how many autographed jerseys does Jordan have from his playing days? There's that year and the year before, and that's it, guys. That's a huge card, and it'll be fun to see what it does. But the Steph right here, the Steph, you were talking about wanting to pick up a Steph, Jeremy. If I was going to buy any Steph rookie card, I'm not joking. This is the one, because
right here, this one right here.
Yeah, because I'll tell you why. It's not his best rookie card, but it's because it's his first autograph, which I think is cool. The autograph's got a good amount of detail on it, and it's not priced insane. Now, maybe tonight we'll find out that it is priced insane. But yeah, to me, that's like a card that I could see trying to own in my collection, because it's like in my range, and it's a really rare Steph rookie.
Well, listen, I appreciate the importance of the card being his first auto and all that, but I'll just tell you outright, I think it's ugly. I don't like the looks of that card, so it wouldn't be a card for me. His rookie cards are probably just something like, when I say I want to add a Steph to my collection, and I do, it's probably not going to be a rookie card. It's probably going to eventually be some sort of auto patch from a Flawless or an Immaculate or something like that, because that's where, I want the aesthetics to speak to me, and I would not enjoy that card. I'd enjoy its worth, but I would not enjoy its eye appeal. It's not a card I would pull out and just look at and feel really good about owning it. So not just, that's kind of how I operate more. And it's just not something that I would like. But this Kobe Jambalaya is something I would love to own, and I would look at all the time. It would go nice with my MJ. But it's already, $44,000 plus another $8,800 out the door, as Erik likes to say.
When are we getting Erik? When is Erik jumping on with us tonight?
Well, Erik will be jumping on, and I told him, come on at about, we said, what do we say? A quarter after 9, I think we said.
Our time.
But I did mention him, if it seems like the extended bidding is slowing down and it might end earlier than other nights, maybe jump on a bit early. So I kind of left that up to him. So we'll
remember
see.
last time we got snake bit a little bit. Last time we went, oh, it's over. Oh, wait, we weren't expecting it last time so soon. So it's a good reminder to everybody, like, don't take for granted that it's just gonna go forever. Like, if it's getting down to the last little bit, there's a chance it'll be over.
Yeah, and that's because PWCC tightened up the extended bidding. So for the first hour, we have 5-minute extensions, which is going to go, which we see right here. Every time there's a bid on anything, this thing resets to 5 minutes. So it's going to continue through the next 50 or so minutes. And then it's going to go down to 2 minutes and then 1 minute. And we'll see how long into the 1 minute level, how many times it resets. I have a feeling that after 8:30 Pacific, when we, as you can see on the ticker right now, after 8:30 Pacific, the extensions turn into 1 minute.
Yeah, I
have a feeling we'll be done by 9 o'clock Pacific at the latest, just based on experience doing these shows.
Hey, can we go back to this? I just want to get the last word in on this Steph Curry card real quick, because you and I have seen there's something that is very clear between you and me that I think is a kind of a cool dynamic. You're an aesthetics guy. Like, and I'm not saying you're not other things, but you're definitely more of an aesthetics guy than I am. Like, I think you know what people like about how a card looks better than I do.
But I know what I like about how a card looks.
Yes, but I think your likes more align with like a lot of the hobby than mine. I really care about rarity and significance more than aesthetics. And so, that Kobe autograph patch that just went by, I love that card. But a lot of people might look at that and say, well, that doesn't look nearly as nice as like an exquisite autograph Kobe or autograph patch Kobe. And I'm like, I don't care. It came from 2000. It's awesome. It's numbered 8. Like, I'll go through all the other things, but it's the same thing with this Steph, because that Steph, I'm not going to tell you it's the best looking card around, but what I will tell you is that next day autographs are one of the premium / important insert sets or rookie insert sets of the whole Panini era, right? And Steph Curry is like maybe the best rookie from the whole Panini era. So like that card is really cool. I think it's really an important card. And I don't even care how it looks. Like, I don't even see how it looks, there's probably like way better Steph autographs out there, but I see that and I'm like, first autograph card next day. And so that's where I think we're different. And as I always say, reasonable people can disagree, right? We can like different things. But to me, that's why it's so cool.
No, and you know what? I don't disagree with anything you just said, and I think I put a lot of value, and I do own cards like that as well, where, you know, like for example, the first set of jerseys, no autos, just jerseys themselves. Then in hockey, they're 1996 Upper Deck. They're not the prettiest cards ever made. They're far from the nicest memorabilia card ever made, but I have a whole set of them because to me they're extremely important, and so I do rank that substantially as well. But I guess it really just depends on who the player is, what the card is. How many cards of a certain player do I have in my collection? If I had an extensive Steph Curry collection, then that card this next day would be probably significant to me and a card that I would own. But for me, I'm only looking to own, I don't own any Steph cards. I'm looking to own one of them. So if I'm going to own one, I need to meet all my criteria. So
checks all the boxes.
Right. Yeah. So rarity would be low numbering. Important would be like an on-card auto from an important set, like a flawless or an immaculate. And even though they may not be as important to others, I think they're important just because they're so beautiful year in and year out. So
right.
There's so many different pieces of the acquisition process or thought process that goes into it for me that I'm not discounting that card or its importance or the reasons to own it. But as far as Steph goes, if I'm only going to hold one Steph card, that just wouldn't be it. But I certainly understand what you're saying. When you don't even notice what it looks like, you like the importance of the card. And I think that itself is a great way to collect, because you're always going to have rare, important cards. And that's always going to be something that the hobby's going to like. So when you do need to dispose, you're going to do just fine.
Hey, Mr. Durant just tied up MJ.
There we go. The hobby is speaking. Let's see where things end. One of my favorite Kobe's just came in right here again at $27,000.
You knocked that one out of the park. That one's really going somewhere. And again, that speaks to your understanding of aesthetics. Like I saw that and I was like, that's a cool autographed Kobe patch, but I didn't think very much of it. But it's doing really well, and I think it's because of what you talked about. People love the way that card looks.
Well, it's a beautiful card. It's limited. It's you got a full body shot of Kobe on there too. You're missing just below his knees, so not too bad. On card, beautiful patch, laid out well. I mean, I always tend to prefer a vertical card to a horizontal, but I have nothing against adding horizontal cards to my collection. I've got hundreds of them, and this one would fit in very well. But speaking of verticals, one of my favorite, even though this isn't an acetate essential credentials, I still do love the look of this year credentials. Here's a Zion. Haven't seen this one yet. This looks to be limited to, I don't know if that says 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 5, but that's not a bad looking card.
It's eminence. Zion, you gotta have some guts right now. Either way, it's just like, is that guy gonna go be a world beater, or is he just gonna not ever do anything? You just don't know.
You just don't know. Chris Paul RPA comes in at $13,000, and there's our Steph Curry again. So you're not alone in understanding, realizing, valuing the importance of this particular card of his. So yeah. And it's not even graded. Just the auto is graded. The card is given an authentic, and the auto is given a grade of 10. So interesting that the card itself wasn't graded.
While I'm thinking of it, Jeremy, we were going to do this top 10 thing. How do you want to do that? Do you want to do it in order? Do you want to just mention? I kind of thought we were going to do it in order, but what are you thinking?
I think what we'll do, so we're not jumping around, is we'll go to we'll scroll down here. I'll click on my favorites, because both of ours will be there, and we'll just go through and mention whose were whose. My order wasn't really in order anyway, so we'll do that. Before we do, though, I'm going to scroll back up here. Just going to go to a few more comments here before we do that. Ryan O'Hara, good evening, great to have you. Drew addresses the card number to the gold. Kobe LeBron says that, like Adam said, it's one of the most iconic sets with one of the most iconic players. 08 Chrome has been target cards for me for a while. Says the 08 Chrome card in different parallels was our best seller at a show recently. 2 top 8 players of all time. Yeah, makes sense. The Dream, welcome, Jeremy. Yeah, I was not able to get out to Vancouver for the show this week, and I did have to cancel my trip, unfortunately. We're missing it. Have a Steph auto in the showcase. Curry doesn't sign very much. Send me a picture. Love to see which one you have. Birds on a Bat says, LOL, Adam with Eminence. FYI, Adam, I'm the Instagram user who DM'd you recently asking about why you collect Eminence over other premium brands.
Yep,
and he
awesome.
really appreciated your input on it. Adam has no problem sharing why he loves what he loves. And look at that, Adam, 40 grand on the Steph Curry next day. I wonder if we stop talking about it, if it will stop appearing up top here. I just wonder. I don't know. Okay.
It's been a long time since one sold. I had no idea what to expect, but it's well out of my range now.
I'm going to click on favorites. We're going to
Jeremy, I don't know if you know this about me, but I kind of like countdowns. Can we count them down?
What's that?
Can we count them down?
We can. Yeah, we sure we can.
Because that's how I have it laid out.
Okay, then let's go. Let's do yours first. Let's start. Okay, so we're going to do Adam's top 10 cards from the auction. We're going to do this right now. Adam, as you're doing this, I'm going to sometimes scroll to the top to see what bids are coming in on the auction. All right, but let's start. I mean, they're all going to be laid out in front of us here, but which was your number 10? I'll go find it right now.
My number 10 is a LeBron logo man out of Gala. LeBron's logo mans are well out of any range of normal people being able to afford them. But the cool thing about this one is that it's got some aspects about it that aren't desirable. Gala is not a brand that people are interested in the inserts. Gala is not a, it's the card is it's a horizontal. People call this a dead logo, man. It's laying on its side. But for me, somebody who would love to own a LeBron James logo, man, like this is that opportunity. It's super cool. It looks to me, and this, I don't know what you think. It looks more like it's not like the main one off the jersey, but like a certain tag or something.
Laundry tag, maybe.
But it still looks really nice, and it's number 1 of 1 from his Cavs days. So that's my number 10 most favorite. This isn't best by any means, but it's my number 10 most favorite card in the auction tonight.
All right. Thank you for your number 10, Adam. We'll close this one up. We'll go back here. What's your number 9?
Number 9 is the Magic Johnson 2012 Prism Gold. This is, I think, I've got to shout this one out because I think this is the first Prism Gold card we've had on the auction since we started doing these, Jeremy, 6 months ago or so. Magic's a kind of a card that I didn't think would necessarily sell super well, but the interesting thing about this one, and this is how I'm thinking about it, Magic doesn't have a lot of great like parallel cards, right? So I started thinking about it and I realized I think this might be like the best Magic Johnson parallel card. It's in the best grade too. Guys who are retired in a set like this, you don't typically think of it being part of their like canon, part of their important, cards from their playing days. Cause obviously he'd been retired like 17 years or something, but it's going for a really good price at this point. I mean, $21,000, I'd have to think is a record for a retired player out of 2012 Prism Gold. So that one to me is my 9th favorite. Okay.
This one right here. Yeah, it's a very cool card, no doubt about it. And it is likely worth more than a bar of actual gold. All right. Back to the main page. What's your number 8 card?
Number 8 is the Michael Jordan Ionics autograph. The card is from 1999, and to find a 90s Jordan autograph at this point is almost impossible. He has a 98 Ionics autograph too, but it's not as popular because it's not as good looking. He's not signed on as nice of a surface. I apologize. So number 23. Love that card. That card's number 8. Number 7 is the Kevin Durant Logo Man autograph.
Okay, we're going to find that one here.
We already found out tonight that Jeremy hates Kevin Durant, but besides that, Kevin Durant is awesome.
Here we are.
And it's a real logo, man. It's really numbered 1 of 1. Is there something different about it? Like, why is it only at 50 grand?
You know what? I don't know, but this is like, to me, this is a very nice card as far as a logo man goes. And just like I'm not a huge fan of NFL shields, NHL shields, I'm also not a huge fan of logo man cards. But this one, I think the layout is almost perfect. Yeah. I really do like the looks of this card. You've got a very bored looking Kevin Durant. That's exactly one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of his. He just looks like, get this photo shoot over with already, please. But other than that, I do love the clean look of this card. The logo man fits into the patch window here very nicely. On card auto, silver foil, white background, just a beautiful card.
Is it silver or is it hollow? Can you go to the 360 real quick? I think it's hollow. Yeah, it's hollow. Tilt it side to side. Yep. See that glow?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, the foil's very nice.
So like I said, I know you hate Kevin Durant now, but I like Kevin Durant, and so I like that card. Okay, sorry, I'm just teasing. Another card that Jeremy doesn't like is my number 6 card, maybe the best silver prism card ever made, the Giannis.
This one right here.
That's right. So this is a silver prism, so it's numbered to 25. Because all autographs that are silver back in those days were numbered to 25. And this is a huge card. When we think about Prism Giannis rookies, you think about something that's pretty plentiful. I mean, it's not like it's not like it's a Zion, but there's plenty of them. But there's only 25 of this one. This is the 2-time MVP, the 1-time champ. It's an important part of this canon. So and you can see they're numbered to 25.
Yeah.
Love it.
So the reason I don't like this card, number one, the aesthetics do nothing for me. But even more importantly, it's just the fact that it's a sticker autograph. We do see, I know stickers they're a necessary evil, but we do see on-card autos, pretty regularly. And so for that reason, it's not a total deal breaker for me, but it's just not a card that I would be owning unless, I were to absolutely get to steal it somehow.
Yeah.
So you're right. A card I hate.
We've spent plenty of time talking about. Number 5 is the Steph Next Day. Number 4 is the MJ98 that June mentioned, the Upper Deck, the first Bulls jersey autograph, numbered to 23. I love that card. I seriously I'm not in this world where I can go pay a couple $100,000 for a card, but if I was, that would be there. I just love that card.
This one right here.
Yep. Number 3 is the again card that I own. It's right there, the 2008 Kobe Gold. It's a card that represents a generation, and the other thing is that other thing I would say about it is when you want to talk about iconic chrome cards, there's the LeBron, there's the Kobe 1 and 2. I think the third most iconic chrome card, I think it's got to be this one. I don't know what else there is. It's a huge, and I don't know who that user was. Like he said about the show, it's a really popular card, and it has been for over a year now, and it's going to continue to be. So my number 2 favorite card is the KD Exquisite that we've already looked at. And my number 1 favorite card is the Kobe Bryant, numbered 8 of 8, 2000 Upper Deck. What I said about that earlier, it's part of it. There are 3 original first-year autograph patches of Kobe Bryant. They're all numbered to 8. When we're talking about patches, by the way, people say that jersey cards are patches, and those people are wrong. We can't reinvent history. There were patches and there were autographs. Kobe's got jersey autographs from this time. But this is a patch autograph. It came on a premium stock. It was serial number different. It had a different stated odds. It says patch on the front and on the back. There are 3 of those across all of Kobe's 2000 rookie or 2000 year. Excuse me. He's got 24 of them, and this one's 8 of 8. I do have to say I do know the seller on this, so just so you know, there is that. I know him. He's a friend. But I love this card. This is my favorite card in the auction. You're allowed to like cards that your friends own. I love this card, Jeremy. I do. And again, this is probably another one of those where you'd say, well, aesthetically, and honestly, I can see it in this one. There's better looking patch autos of Kobe, but importance, it's pre-exquisite, right? Once Exquisite comes along, and Exquisite's the best product ever, there's lots of cool autograph patches from Exquisite forward. Look before Exquisite. There's very few great autograph patches. It's the reason why I just bought the Jordan autograph patch that I bought a couple weeks ago. There's not a lot of those. They're all significant. They're all important, some more than others. But to this one, there's 8 of them. Look at the blue on the autograph. Look at the serial number. I know I'm sounding like the ultimate hype man right now, but I do not understand how other things can be worth so much, and this can be worth less than that. To me, this is the best card. It's my favorite card in the auction by far, and You're welcome to my friend who I'm, as I'm hyping it up now, but I love the card. He knows that. And I told him that way before he ever sold it. So,
man, it's a beautiful card. I like how you got Reggie Miller on there with Kobe. It's not like some no name. That's pretty cool too. I like the full bleed photography, right? The borderless image is cool. I usually like a border on a card, but this one doesn't need it. And I think there's nothing wrong with loving on this card for sure. It's the autograph is very nice, very bold, great blue. The patch is amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, like you could count breaks in many different directions here. I really like that. Though, and not even that it takes away, but because the card is the graphic is so zoomed in. It's sometimes the patch itself is almost hidden on the card to a degree, right?
I agree.
But that's okay. Once you hone in on the patch, you realize you've got an amazing piece of memorabilia right there.
Let me say one last thing about this card, and that is, and I did a video on this, and I found 5 of the 8. I tracked the card because I own number 3. My patch is plain white. It is straight off of the 8. It is a plain white patch. My autograph is darker. It's not even as nice as this autograph, and mine's obviously not number 8 of 8. It's still one of my very favorite cards in my collection because of all those things that I just talked about. I like this card, for example, more than the 2008 Chrome Gold that's worth way more. It's just an awesome card. I just really love it. So anyway, enough on that. That's my top 10 list. Let's hear your
top 10. All right, let's go back to the top here, see what's going on. The 05 limited logos, LeBron gets a bid to $34,000. That seems cheap to me. It's a mint 9 card. The auto's a 10. It's a nice 3 color. It's not the most symmetrical 3 color, but still a nice 3 color patch. 34 grand seems low, relatively speaking to me. Here's another beautiful LeBron card. I love the looks of this card. Another horizontal, beautiful. The shield's at 340. So we're getting some bids in. I wonder, we haven't seen the MJ up here, although it might have gone by while we weren't focused on it. So let's do this. I'm going to go back to to all items, and I'm going to sort them by highest price, and then we'll do my top 10 soon. They've all flashed through the screen a few times. The MJ is sitting at $280. Let's sort by highest price and see what the top 3 to 3+ are now.
Pokemon box has got to be number 1 still.
Pokemon box, the Mahomes shield in number 2. So this card's gone up 50% since we talked about it. It was at like nice. 220 last time. And look at this. Look at the KD. So people are with you on this one, Adam, and it's a BGS 9 strong grade. It is a great card. Followed by the MJ, followed by the Brady Bowman Chrome Refractor, followed by the PSA 10 Michael Jordan, which hasn't had a bid in extended bidding yet, but we have 30 minutes left in the first level of extended bidding. Let's go up here for a few seconds. We'll this is the card that I was mentioning earlier that I thought was a really neat card. What is it? It's the Bowman Gold Parallel. I think it's out of 100 or 50. I think it's out of 100, which makes it super rare card. There's our dual scripted again coming in for $44K. Another dual of MJ and LeBron. The SP Significance at $23,000. That seems to be numbered to 10 or so.
Is that a sticker or is that on card?
This one here?
Yeah.
I'm going to say on card. I think it's on card, but I'll open it up and have a closer look. Ben V does not approve. He thinks I have too many tabs open as it is, and he wouldn't be wrong. But Ben, what's wrong with adding one more tab? Let's see where that guy ended up. We'll close that tab. We'll close that tab. Here we are. Let's have a look at this card. I don't think those are stickers.
It looks like it is on card. Well, no. Well, that's a sticker, Jeremy.
Yeah. Those. Yeah, you can see it right there. Definitely sticker. The MJ. Yeah.
A lot of those.
Oh yeah, they're both stickers for sure.
A lot of those SP signatures will get you like that. And but like I always say on these, right? Most people can't afford a LeBron MJ dual on card. They can't. And so this gives them an option to own that. And still a great looking card, right?
Yeah. Hey, Gizmo made a suggestion to you: buy that Kobe 8 of 8 and throw your white patch on the next auction. Did that thought even enter your mind?
It didn't. No. Well, partly because like this card it's already at 100 and I don't ever spend $100,000 on cards. Like, I'm not great at that, right? And then if I was to buy it and then sell mine, and mine sold for 20% of the price, then I'm left, having to pay the rest. I'm very happy to own the one that I own, and I think it's a great card. I love it. I'm just making the point though that it's not nearly what this card is. I wish it was, but it's not.
Well, we have a new most expensive card in the auction, being the Mahomes Shield. Just overtook the box of Pokemon, so that's nice to see a sport card leading the auction.
Yeah, we can't let the Pokemon box win. That won't be okay.
I'd prefer if it didn't as well, just because I like to talk about sports cards more than Pokemon cards. But okay, so I'll do my top 10 now. Ready?
Sweet.
And I believe that's why I had all these tabs open. Ben V, if you could just give me the approval that it's okay that I have my top 10 tabs open. I'm just bugging you, just having fun. So, okay, and these are really in no real particular order, but I will start with this, the ultimate LeBron rookie. I do think that this is a very important card, and of course, I wish I would have bought one 3 years ago when I had the chance. I remember watching somebody buy one of these in front of my eyes at the National in 2019, I think for $35,000, something like that. And I thought, oh, this guy's crazy. $35,000? Like, what? That can only go down. Who knew, right? And now that was obviously a very wise purchase by that collector. The next one on my list is this gold Kaboom Tom Brady out of 10. The reason why this is on my list is simply because now I'm not a big Kaboom guy. I think they're neat, but I don't love them. But this card just pops. The gold Kabooms, I think, are in a class of their own compared to the regular silver Kabooms. And this card, it just pops, and I had to and I even put it on the thumbnail. You can see it's on the bottom of the of the background right now, because it just lit up the background, the thumbnail for this episode, and I thought it was just a cool looking card, so I put it on as one of my favorite cards in the auction. Then we have this card here. So this is the Bowman Gold Tom Brady, and it doesn't, what I don't like about it is just how kind of dull it is. It's almost like the big men on court Z-Peats, where they're kind of not as nice as the basic card because they're dulled down in color. This is dulled down in color, but I do like the rarity of it. It's out of 99, and very important, it's numbered to Michael Jordan's jersey number. So from one goat to another, right? When you can have that, I'm a fan of something silly like that. That does make me excited. So the fact that you have is just such a rare low print run Tom Brady true rookie card, I think is really cool. I did kind of wonder what's wrong with it, that it's why is it an 8.5? So I looked at the subs and I noticed the corners are an 8. And earlier today I went and I zoomed in on the corners to see, what's an 8 about the corners. And I looked at them and I thought, okay, that really nothing wrong with that corner. Really nothing wrong with that corner. Come to the bottom right. Basically nothing wrong there. I mean, we're seeing some white there, but that just might be the border of the card. And then the bottom left. Okay, so here you've got a bit of a touch of white right there.
But that's rough.
Is that good? Is that enough to bring it down, to an 8 on corners? But when you turn it over, you do have some more issues. You have more issues on the reverse. Yeah. And to me, that's where I want my issues to be, on the reverse. So the 8 corners grade on this particular copy, for me, if I was buying this card, I'd consider it to be a little bit, I don't want to know if the word is misleading, but just less important. So I think and to me on a card like this, I like surface. And when the surface is a 9.5, you can see these scuffs here. I think those must be on the holder, because otherwise the surface grade would be a lot lower than 9.5. Sure. So I thought this was a really nice card overall. And just the rarity alone. This is one of those cases like you, Adam, where the rarity, the importance of it being a true rookie card, being a parallel of one of his most, kind of is sort of like commodity type rookies, I think makes it pretty important. So I have this on my list as my top cards in the auction. Of course, this one, which we have talked about. I'm just going to want to see this comment here from Ben. He says that Brady card has 23 and 99 on it. So 3 goats on one card, being Wayne Gretzky. You're Ben, very astute comment. I love this Kobe, as I've mentioned a couple times tonight. It's out of 10, super rare, on card auto, beautiful patch, full body shot. You know, you're actually getting below, you're just missing his shoes in this shot. Just a beautiful card overall. I've talked about that one enough. And then we get into what are my favorite cards in all of the hobby, Essential Credentials. I think they're my number one style card ever made. And there's several years represented in this auction tonight. And this particular card is numbered out of 94. It's from the 2003-4 EX brand. I personally own the LeBron numbered out of 102 from this set. So this would go great with that card. And $7,000. I mean, I kind of wish I had a bid in, because this is something that I could see myself owning. I love this card. I just love it. I love everything about it, even the 70s green, you know, it's just so nice.
I love credentials. Credentials are one of my favorite things in the hobby too.
They're just the best. And then we have another one. So these two, I had these two tied in whatever spot I had them in, both the Kobe's. I kind of cheated to get them both into my list. This card, I own one card from this year, and it's actually a baseball card. I have the Frank Thomas from this set. And I bought it from Tim and Lorena, who do the Wiz Dells show. I bought it from them at the National, traded for it with them. Great people, by the way. And I love these cards. The lettering, the name, the logo down here, the position, all these things are like this beautiful foil. And even though they're not acetate, they almost seem to be. You have to put your finger in behind this part here to make sure it's not acetate, because you're not really sure just by holding these cards. They're just stunning cards in hand. I mean, this is the biggest card on my vintage Hall of Famer want list, and this would have been just an amazing copy to have. It does have a faint hint of this vertical line coming down here, which you see on a lot of these, but what it doesn't have is any fisheyes in the nameplate, which you see a lot of the time. It's got amazing bold color still, just a great copy. But do you see this line coming down here, Adam?
Yeah.
See, that's something that I try to avoid, or I've always tried to avoid. We've got a bit of fading up in the corner here, just in the print, but overall an amazing 6. I think it's a very strong 6 and a card I would love to own. Again, I just Essential Credentials. What can I say? This card, we've seen this card in the auction in the Premier before. I love it. Peyton Manning, this is a rookie year card. So how can you go wrong? Numbered out of 54, I believe. Yeah, numbered out of 54. Just an amazing card, $32,000. And of course, this one, a Kobe Bryant Credentials out of 17. I mean, if I'm not, is it obvious how much I love credentials? Like, I just think they're the best. And numbered 7 to 17, like, talk about a rare card.
And this one's the one that caught my eye too, because this is how do I say this the right way? With rare Kobe stuff, you just don't see it go up for sale very often, right? No. And so, although I didn't know that there was this year of credentials of Kobe that happened to be set to 17, I mean, I knew it existed. I knew it was low numbered. I didn't know what it was numbered to. Now that I'm seeing it in front of me, I'm going, oh, there's that card that I've never seen before. It's because Kobe, like crazy Kobe collectors, don't sell Kobe stuff very often. He's beloved, and some people don't like him, and that's okay too. This to me is one that I kind of wish I would have put on my top 10 too, Jeremy.
Well, I got you covered here, buddy. And you say a lot of people don't like him. Like, if you didn't like him when he was alive, how can you still not like the guy? I mean, I don't. Anyway, we'll leave that out of it. But just a great card. I love the reverse dunk. In action, just an amazing. I love the green. Everything about it. Everything about this card. And then I paired these two together. I had them both in one spot. They're from the same year. Here's a Michael Jordan from the same set and other credentials numbered out. This one's out of 77. Oh, I did bid on this card. As you can see, I've been outbid right there for everyone to see. I put in a bid up to 11 grand, but I have been outbid, and I don't plan to bid again, even though it's tempting right there. It's very tempting. But what a great card that is. And then the LeBron James. So I had to put this one on too, because it's just such an amazing card. I feel like a broken record, Adam, but I mean, how can you not love this card?
No, as we get further away from the 2000s, certain things sort of stand out to us. And I never really thought about these intermediate credentials years being interesting. But like, you look back at them and you go, oh, like Jordan doesn't have that many credentials cards, especially in a Bulls uniform. He doesn't have that many. And there's not that many sets that have all three of the guys. And it just so happens that this auction has all three of them, the Kobe in the rare form and the Jordan, the LeBron in the less rare form. But like that, it's kind of cool, you know?
LaMelo Green Shimmer gets a bit of $20,000. And there's the LeBron Finest Refractors from 03.
Have I asked you before? That one's 02, 03. Have I asked you before how you like that image of LeBron in the white suit? It feels like maybe we did talk about that.
We did talk about that. Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's neat. I don't mind it. I'm going to finish my top 10. I don't know how many left I have, how many more there are, but there's a few. This one here, the Ray Allen Precious Metal Gems Red. I mean, you know, I don't know what else I can say. I love Ray Allen. And I love PMG. 6 is a perfect grade for this card. I own one PMG red from this set. It's in a 6 as well. So this would have paired beautifully with it. It's a Shaquille. Would have paired very nice, but I'm not making a play. And I'm going to congratulate and hope to see the winner be very proud of owning this amazing, amazing card.
Let me ask you, it seems to me like the PMG reds have jumped in value in a way over the course of the last maybe 6 months that hasn't been the same as the rest of the market. Like there are clearly a couple of people who are going after these. Does that make you think at all about your Shaq? Like your Shaq's worth a lot of money now. Do you think at all about maybe parting with that at some point?
No, not even a little bit. Nope. I mean, no, I don't.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's not.
I owned 2 Dennis Rodmans at the same time, and I just don't.
Did you move them?
I don't love the set the way that everybody else loves it. I should, because I'm a basketball guy. Like I'm a big, rare basketball guy. I just don't love it the same way that other people do, and so I sold both of them, and that card's probably worth 20 times what I sold it for now. And so
that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
How it goes.
So this is, I just got to see this. I think so. Yeah, this was my number 2 card. And these two are interchangeable for me, really. Either the Ray Allen or this Giannis right here. And the reason I choose this Giannis is because to me, Immaculate is the nicest RPA in the business. Nicer than National Treasures, Flawless, any of those. I think it is the nicest. I love the acetate surface. I think the design is unbelievable. The space they leave for the autograph is just perfect. On card. Great action shot, nice image, 99. I just love Immaculate. And that's like when I do go out and buy a Giannis card and I do go out and buy a Steph Curry card and I don't go out and buy a KD card, they're going to be most likely be Immaculates and the year doesn't necessarily matter. It's going to come down to me to eye appeal. You know, rookie would be preferential, of course, or preferable, but just could be out of range. And then a couple of honorable mentions. There's the 52 tops, Mickey Mantle. And I also had to pull out the O-Pee-Chee, 79 O-Pee-Chee Wayne Gretzky, because it is the only hockey card out of 274 items in this auction. It's a PSA 8, which is a great card, a great grade for this card. And as I like to do, I like to kind of analyze the condition of these Gretzkys, and I've done that on this card, and this one's actually very nice. The corners are all great. People might notice that left edge and say, what's up with that left edge? But that is what is very typical and accepted by the hobby as the rough O-Pee-Chee cut. And it does more often than not happen on the left side than any other side. So it is normal. It's not something that PSA penalizes, and it's generally not something that the hobby penalizes. Now, if you're new to hockey cards, you might say, oh, why would I want that? I want a nice clean cut card. And hey, all the power to you. That's fine. But what I look to more so on the Gretzky is the registration, the way the print was laid down. Yeah. And in this case, it's almost perfect. And by that, I mean, you can just see that there's no separation here between these black borders. Well, there's a little bit right there. You see that little bit of white under there, Adam?
Yep.
Right there. That's about the most I see there. You see a little bit up there, but that's minor. You see more on other copies of the card. The oil drop is almost perfectly placed within the pocket here. A little bit high, but still very nicely centered. Perfectly centered right to left, a little bit high top to bottom. The other thing I noticed about this copy, the centering overall, very nice, side to side, pretty much perfect. Top to bottom, it's a little bit wider on the bottom than it is at the top, but not bad at all. Not to the point where it takes away from the eye appeal, in my opinion, whatsoever. If you really zoom in, you see a bit of scuff right there. It's not even scuff. It's almost like a bit of excess ink or something. I'm not sure what that is, but again, nothing too serious that, if that wasn't there, if this card was shifted down, a couple of hairs, you're probably looking at a PSA 9. So I think for me, it's a wonderful copy, a wonderful example of a PSA 8, one that would be more than welcome in my collection.
One of the things that I've really enjoyed about being on this show with you is, kind of the information sharing. And when you talk about a Gretzky and you talk about the oil drop and you talk about the registration and the way that it was cut and the difference between Topps and O-Pee-Chee and all those things, it's super valuable, I think, to the community and to those of us who aren't necessarily, hockey guys. I will tell you, as somebody who's an outsider to that card, when I look at that one, the eye appeal. When we talk about eye appeal, the eye appeal that negative that stands out to me, even though I totally understand it, is that left edge. That left edge, I see it immediately, and that's not that's because I'm a novice and I don't know that card the way that you do. But I just see it. It's white, and I'm going, is that bad? Is that wrong? And you've explained that it's not. It's the way that it is. But like, I still notice it.
And I notice it too. Let me be clear. But because I've been collecting O-Pee-Chee hockey cards since this card came out, it's just grown on me. It's become almost like an endearing factor of the card. Yeah. I don't penalize it for it. However, I wouldn't try and argue somebody out of what you're saying. I wouldn't try to argue somebody out of saying, well, I don't want that copy because it has that rougher left edge. I wouldn't say, oh no, you should get over that. No, I'm completely understanding of that position, but I can tell the audience and the people watching that there's a large contingent of the hobby that doesn't mind that whatsoever. And there's even some people that will tell you they prefer it, because they now know, I'm 100% certain this card isn't trimmed, it's pack pulled, all these things. There are several examples of the Gretzky rookie out in slabs that were, as we call, they were wire cut or laser cut, or they were sheet cut, as we call it, after the cards were manufactured. They weren't pack pulled, right? So a lot of people want to make sure they have a pack pulled card. I personally as well want to make sure I have a pack pulled card versus a sheet cut card. And so this is a kind of like your guarantee that this card is pack pulled. Yeah, that left edge right there.
That's well said. The corollary to that is, a card that has edge wear that seems like it might be easy to try to remove with, somebody who's trying to trim it, or a card that's a patch, that the patch is really weak. It's something that tells you this is something that hasn't been messed with. And, I would argue, and this is just my opinion, card gospel by Adam, like originality and authenticity matters most. It matters more than anything else does. And so I'm with you. You shouldn't try to like tell somebody, here's what you should be looking for, here's what you shouldn't be looking for. But I am definitely somebody who can appreciate something that somebody else might view as an imperfection, but to me makes me understand that it's real.
Look at my shirt today too. It's the Gretzky rookie. Okay, let's go back to the main page. There's your Kobe, $150,000 now, Adam, for this 8 of 8. Yeah, great. That's some big numbers right there. Let's go to some comments. It's been a little bit of a while since I've addressed some of them. So we'll pick back up where we left off with Gizmo says, I've been collecting, selling, and buying for 38 years, and it's hard to see Brady cards that I had that I sold for $80 raw, and now they are over $100,000. I just want to puke, but then I wouldn't be able to. Wouldn't be able to reinvest and buy other cards. Yeah, that's one of the things that all of us in the hobby, we all have these stories. Shouldn't have sold that card, should have bought that card. And what I think to myself is, I sold the card 2 years ago for 10% of what it's worth now, but I took that money, I bought something else. Hopefully what I bought has appreciated in value as well, or at least, I got some joy from that expenditure as well too. So Troy says, don't be upset at Gizmo. Jeremy has the time machine on order that we can all use, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Gizmo says, exactly. And this is exactly right, Gizmo.
That's right.
You cannot hold everything. You can't hold everything. Me and Joe talk about that all the time. You just can't hold everything. Sometimes you got to move cards in to move cards out to bring other cards back in. Gizmo says Leighton pulled the green Kaboom 1/1 Brady 2 weeks ago. I think it sold for a ridiculous price. Sam, welcome to the show. Good evening. Who has the Expo Blues? Yeah, we had a great time at Expo. There was a 4-day show, and boy, it got some love from a lot of people that came up from the States. So that was really great to see. Joe says number 23 is never a bad number to have on an important card. I got to say, I agree with that. Birds on the Bat says, at times, I wonder if any big money investors tune into this podcast for the monthly auction coverage to hear what they should go after. I mean, seriously, where are you going to get better information? Well, thank you for that comment, Birds on a Bat. That's a credit to you, Adam.
That's a credit to you, Jeremy. Triple
V says that Maze is a beauty regardless of the line. Yes, no doubt, Triple V. I know it is. Trust me, I know it is. It's a beauty. I've put my eyes on dozens of PSA 3 to 7 Willie Mays cards, and that is one of the nicest copies you're going to see, that PSA 6 that is at auction tonight. And Adam 8 of 8 just took another $10,000 bump to $160,000. Gizmo, I remember that Peyton card at my local. Yeah, this is the Peyton Manning Essential Credentials out of 58. You saw it raw for 2 years and couldn't get 300 for it. Oh my God. That is crazy.
Hey, Gizmo, my story like that is a card that's also in this auction. It's the Wilt Chamberlain Retro Autograph 1010. We had one of those. I worked at a card shop for like 7 years, back through high school, and then when I got home from my mission, and this Wilt Chamberlain autograph sat there for $100. Nobody buy it for $100.
Is that the Incredibles?
No, the retro. It's what is it? Retro Incredible? Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
And I was just like, sorry, I said that wrong. At one card shop, it was $100, and then he passed away, and it sat in our card shop for $400. So my mistake. But it sat there, and I was always like, that is such a cool card. I should get that. And I just did never go after it, But like that card, we all do that. We all have those moments where we shouldn't have passed up something, and then you just try to learn from those lessons,
8 of 8, Adam. 8 of 8 just went from 160 to 180. The Mahomes NTRPA is at 130.
It's the coolest card in this auction. I really do think that. There's a lot of awesome stuff, but
you're winning me over. You're winning me over on that card. 190. There you go. Look at that. That's a special card, no doubt about it. Hey, there we go. There's a nice Ty Cobb red portrait. See how this is an amazing card. It's the red portrait, so it's worth less than the green, but I arguably the red is nicer. PSA 6, extremely high grade, $28,000, sweet cap reverse. I mean, what an amazing card. That seems like a steal to me. This is a museum piece.
Yeah.
A museum piece. $28,000 for this.
As the modern stuff has exploded in all sports, there's this stuff in vintage where you look at and you go, what? Like, it's selling for what in modern? And I think the reason for that is that the new generation of people who are buying things that they relate to, art pieces of guys that are either playing or that they feel like they know.
That's exactly it.
That's
exactly it.
But I'm with you, Jeremy. Like, I love the vintage stuff, and that's a beautiful.
But you're right. People are putting a lot of money into Patrick Mahomes and Luka and all the the Giannis's and the Connor McDavids and all that. And it's a relatively new sort of thing where the modern day cards are worth as much as their vintage counterparts. The best of the game now is worth as much as the best of the game back then. It's just right at all levels, right up to the $5 million cards. So it's the new way of the hobby. So I want to run through some more comments here. Troy says, is green my favorite color? That's 3 cards. Hey, it's just a coincidence, but it's generally not my favorite color. Joe makes a good point. The Essential Credentials Anonymous. Yes, I will be the charter member for sure. Gizmo has a serious question. I had my Jambalaya McDavid graded by BGS. It came back in 9. I didn't do subgrades. My reason, it does not have corners. Thoughts or opinions? I may have made an error. I mean, I would always do subgrades with BGS. Simple as that. That's my quick answer to that, Greg.
For sure.
Charles Fuchs recognizes the PMGs are legendary. Greg says, I hate when you zoom on Gretzky RC because it makes me drool every time. Sorry about that. Card Lover lets us know that the Oilers are up 3-0 with Connor McDavid having a goal and an assist. Yeah, he is the next Wayne Gretzky. I'm on the Connor McDavid train now. He is he is by far the best player in hockey. That's my favorite. Not even close. Gizmo talking about the Gretzky rookie. David G, good evening to you. Just got back from the Islanders game tonight. So many Ziggy Palffy jerseys. My head was spinning. Joe Perot loves the centered oil drop. Eric, also known as Sanderson to Orr, says, I'm against giving high grades to O-Pee-Chee cards that look like that due to poor cutting of the product. An 8 is an 8, unless a Gretzky O-Pee-Chee, then a 5 is an 8. Yeah, well, that's just the way it is, Eric. And, I think you have a claim there. You really do. You really do. But I think that's just one of those decisions that was made back in the day.
And to be fair, there's other sets that are like that. And especially, you look back at vintage baseball where there's more of a history and more of an understanding of sort of how some things were cut and what they're meant to look like. And you might look at it through today's eyes and like, let's be really honest. A card that's graded today, with that was made today, and a card that was made from the 1970s, they are graded different. They are like if you put them next to each other and you count flaws or whatever, the card that is, if it has the same number of flaws, the card from yesteryear is going to get the better grade because it's expected to have some of those things.
Yep. So I just want to point out that the first level of extended bidding is going to be over in about, by my clock, 3 minutes. So this is a bit misleading here at 4:48. It's actually going to end in about 3 minutes. And we're going to go into the first accelerated level of 2-minute extensions. So things are going to really heat up. And this is going to, probably wind up. Well, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this auction every minute that goes by, of course. But we're going to see more and more action. And then we're going to see it slow down. I've noticed a bit of a slowdown even just right now as we're up here. Sure. So let's see what the next few minutes hold as I continue through comments. Card Lover says that the Oilers are up 4-0. Connor McDavid is a god. He will be the second best player ever in hockey. I mean, top 5, I can't see him not being a top 5 of all time. He is that good. Triple V, I like this comment. It says, kind of like the centered star cards from the mid-'80s. They're supposed to be off-center. And I agree with that comment. If I were to buy a Michael Jordan Star 101, which I one day would like to own, I want it to be off-center. I want it to be off-center. And I want everything else to be perfect. So if you could find me a card that has like 9-5 edges, corners, and surface, but the centering is an 8, that's the perfect Star 101 for me.
And let me tell you about this. I've owned one. I didn't even own it. I was brokering it for somebody else. It came from an original collection. It had 9-5 on all 3 subgrades, and then the centering was a 7-5. I sold it to our mutual friend Frankie. That card, because of the way that Beckett does those things, it only came out as an 8. Even though it had 9-5, 9-5, 9-5, 7-5, it came out as an 8, and he got a steal of a price on it. And I'm with you. Like, I like that. I like that it looks like the other ones look, but traditional grading standards say no, that's 7.5 on centering. So I think that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. And the reason it only gets an 8, even with those 3.95s, is simply because centering is the most heavily weighted subgrade. So they're not going to go a point higher. Whereas if it was edges, you'd probably have been at an 8.5, right?
That's
so
exactly right. Yep.
Makes good sense. And like Triple V says, it's supposed to be off center. And that is how I want my copy to be. Crazy as it sounds, it just is. It just is. Jordan Riker wants to know if I'll be doing an expo recap show about what I sold, bought, takeaways, etc. I'm going to try to, Jordan. I will try to. Just might not be right away, but maybe next weekend. We will see. McDoyle Sports, good evening to you. And hey, thank you for joining. Glad. Thank you for the appreciation. Gizmo says the card is basically the best past pulled O-Pee-Chee Gretzky you could pull. Danny Kung, I'm 8 shots tequila in. Love you too and love your channel, Jeremy. Thank you very much, Danny Kung. Drink safely, Danny. Drink safely. But if you're bidding, bid aggressively. There's nothing like mixing those two things, bidding and having a party. There's a nice KD card, Adam, right there. The rookie chronology, $13,000 for a dual patch with a nice 3-color patch there.
Yeah, I love that
card. On card auto.
Yeah, love that card. I think that you see some of those non-exquisite cards, they just fly under the radar. That's not like a considered like a key parallel or anything like that. I would look at it more like an insert. But yeah, I love that card. It's beautiful.
There's the Cassius Clay coming in, the Muhammad Ali, the Hemit's Journal, the PSA 8 at $44,000. You see some really small boxing cards, vintage boxing cards. This one is a nice size. I like that card. The Kobe Refractor, PSA 10, 170K. Oh, there's a little Joe Namath action in a PSA 8 for 36,000. Another what I think is just undervalued. I don't like saying undervalued, underappreciated compared to some modern day cards. A couple more Kobe Refractors getting bids again, 180 on the PSA and 65,000 on the BGS 9.5. And just from looking from here, the PSA does look to be perfectly centered.
Yeah.
While the BGS seems to be a little bit leaning to the left from what I can tell. Jordan's first jersey card, I believe. Oh, there's a bit of NBA logo man in there. That's why this is such a big card. And look at that, Adam. Look at the 8 of 8. Look at the 8 of 8. It was at 100,000 when we started.
I asked the question today on my, this might be surprising to you if you didn't see it. I asked the question, I did a poll between the Topps Chrome Refractor 10 and the 8 of 8. And I said, which would you rather have in your collection? And last I looked, it was dead on 50-50, which surprised me because usually the iconic cards are the ones that often win that. And as much as I love the 8 of 8, it's not as iconic as the Chrome Refractor is. And it's interesting to see they're not far off of each other right now. I think the Chrome Refractor is at 180 or 160. So they're pretty close.
And there's another Giannis auto patch coming in, RPA from Select at a meager $13,000. And it's got green. So if tonight's on theme, that would be one of my favorite cards, but it's not. I don't think it's nearly as nice as the Immaculate, which is 2 to the left, which I just love. Card Lover wants to know, where is the Howley Hustle? He is going to be joining us probably in about 10 minutes, Card Lover, in about 10 minutes. Josh says you got to be careful with BGS and SGC O-Pee-Chee Gretzky's. They were not nearly as good as catching the trimming on that rough cut as PSA. What a Matt Pime, huge selling mistake. Sold $30,000 2017 to help pay for a remodel, probably worth $125 now. Yeah, that's definitely something that's a lot of people are going through that for sure. Thank you, David French. Appreciate you tuning in very much. So,
what's this old card? Cy Young. Do you know the 1903 Cy Young card?
No, the E107 Type 1 with some serious front of the card paper loss. He's missing an ear. He's got a part in his hair now. No, I'm not familiar with this card. I mean, I'm sure it's very, it might be it might be his old. I'm going to just shut down a bunch of these other tabs very quickly.
Whenever you have a card that has that much paper loss and that much weird stuff going on it, for it to still be $15,000, that must be a pretty serious card.
Well, I mean, that might be his rookie card. I mean, the T206 is a 1909, and this is not from 1909, 1903.
Wow.
E107. I'm not familiar with this card at all. It's a blank back, so not like we can find out anything from the back. But this card has literally been chewed up and spit out. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
So the population, if there's anything, is there anything mentioned about the overall pop 1 of 1, just 1 graded higher? Oh, wow. So there's probably 2 in the total pop, right? Yeah. Maybe there's a couple of authentics. This one is probably close to being an authentic just because of the missing corners, the gouge out of it right there. And of course, 2 severe chunks of paper loss right on the surface.
I love stuff like this, Jeremy. I know this isn't what everybody loves because you want to know that other people recognize your card. But to be able to say, hey, I have an original Cy Young card. There's 2 of them known in the world. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's the fact that this thing exists is amazing. The fact that PWCC is getting to offer it is amazing. It's definitely a rarity for sure. All right, we have our guest star of the show has pulled up into the back. Erik, I'm going to let you settle in for 1 minute, and I'm going to bring you out. While we do that, Adam, Joe wants to know, not to put you on the spot, but what's your best Curry card in your collection?
Oh, it's definitely it's one of my best cards. It's the 2012 Gold Prism, which I am just really super, super fortunate to have.
Just like the Magic from tonight, the Gold Prism from 2012. You also have a Kobe from that set, don't you?
Yeah. The last time the Steph a Kobe hasn't sold in forever, but the last time a Steph sold, it was the number 1 of 10. So that's probably the best serial number. And it was a BGS 10, but it sold for like 300 grand. So that's a huge card. But I kind of smirked a little bit, Jeremy, when you said that when you pick up your Steph, you probably won't go for a rookie. And I thought, well, at least Jeremy and I did agree on that. I didn't go for a rookie either. But I got really lucky.
Yeah. I like this. Ink Paper Wax Collector, speaking of the Ty Cobb, says it shows its age and rarity. Yeah, it definitely shows its age, and the rarity is obvious by the pop, no doubt about it. Dylan James, good evening. Thank you for joining. Okay, we're going to bring out Erik right now. Erik, you ready? Give me the thumbs up. Oh, there it is. All right, come on out, buddy. There he is. Welcome to the show, Erik. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really good, man. It's been a fun day watching this thing.
Well, you thought that this thing, you thought that it might you weren't sure how long it was going to go, but the bids have been coming fast and furious all throughout extended bidding. We're into the 2-minute extension window here. It's going to last for another 20 minutes or so. Then we go into the 1 minute where things really, start to fall off, and it will likely end within that first half hour, I would think. But why don't we ask you, what I'd like to ask you every time you do join us on the show, which you're now, you're a regular on it, is what's caught your eye? What surprised you so far tonight?
The one that sticks out the most is the Jordan Exquisite. I really felt like it was going to hit closer to 400, 4.25. It's like 6 breaks, 3 colors. The autograph is as blue as it can be. It's a gem mint. I feel at 336 out the door, 280 before buyer premium, that just seems really light for me. I've seen those behind the scenes go for the upper 3s, lower 4s. So that's the one that stands out. The Jordan PSA 10, I feel like that one, I just see those selling, sometimes 320 to 360, but it all depends on centering to that effect. But the one that really jumps out at me, it's got another bit, is the, I'm biased, right? The 8 of 8 Kobe, the patch auto. It's at 288 out the door. If I had to pick one, I was guessing 160 to 180, maybe 190. But the fact it's bumping at almost 290, that's a monster card, man. You see a lot of jersey number Kobe cards going for a ton now.
Yeah, well, we spent. I don't know if you've been watching this. Have you been watching this from the beginning at all, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about that Kobe 8 of 8 because it's Adam's favorite card in the auction.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
Erik and I kind of met because of my copy of that card, Jeremy. So I knew when Erik came on that we would sort of have a fun little smile at each other over that one.
Well, I just want to say that Adam has basically, in talking about that card, it's become probably one of my top 5 cards in this auction as well now. I think it's as amazing as the price is now symbolizing. So
can I also just say, like, when you think about value, I had somebody just message me this, so I'll answer his question out loud. He asked, what's the premium because of the serial number? I have no idea what the answer to that question is. What I do know is that we've seen other copies of that card that don't have as good a patch, that aren't graded a 9, that have sold for 6 figures. So it's not shocking to me that it's a lot more with a better autograph, a better patch, and the fact that it's 8 of 8. So, but to Erik's point, you don't really know on a card like that until the people step up and say, what am I going to bid? And you kind of just go, there's only one of the 8 of 8, so let's see what happens.
Good. And you hit all the points, right? It's 9, so it's a mint card. The patch is for a 21-year-old card, it's as ridiculous as you could get. The autograph still looks amazing. Dual jersey number. I thought in the 170 to 200 range was about fair, but like you said, if people want it, it is what it is. It could be a $30,000 to $50,000 premium. It could be $130,000 premium. Because at the end of the day, whoever wants it, they're going to want to lock that away, And I think this brings the rest of them, their value up to probably the 130 to 160 range, something to that effect. But then it depends on patch and auto as well. But this one, it's the highest grade. has the best patch, and it's 8 of 8. So it checks every single box. So if you're going to push in all your chips on getting one Kobe patch auto, maybe for your collection, and you've got a $250,300 to put on it, I mean, it's not a bad one to have. You know, there are very few better than that. I mean, because we saw what the 1-of-1 Logoman went for, and there was 3 of those made, right? But
That's right.
You know, it went for $900,000. What do y'all think about the PSA 10 Top Scrum Refractor, Kobe? That's at 216.
Is that 216 out or 216 in?
360
out. No, the Top Scrum Refractor, Kobe Bryant.
Oh, so sorry. I thought you were talking about the gold refractor, Kobe. You were talking about the regular one.
Yeah.
It's a great card. It's
This one right here. This one at 180, Erik?
Yeah. I mean, that's a strong number. That's a really strong number for that card. They kind of come down a little bit, but when you see them with minimal greening or no greening, bidders come out on those. What's some of the surprising cards that y'all seen in this?
Well, before we do that, I want to ask, if the value of the refractor shoots up because of an auction like this, does that drag up the non-refractor Topps Chromes, or is it just sort of a completely different thing?
There's no umbilical. When the value of a card like this shoots up, it's strictly because of the fact that it's centered and minimal greening that it has.
Yeah.
I mean, because that same card with
There's no correlation, you're saying.
Yeah, the same card with more greening could go for 130, 140.
Right.
We've seen with minimal greening, people just jump on them. And again, it's kind of like the 8 of 8. They'll pay an extra 50% to have a really, really clean copy. That's just kind of how they do on those things. You know, the one card that I'm impressed is the Bowman Chrome Brady at 312, because we had one with 9.5 centering that sold last month. I think it was last month for 256. Wow. And now this one's going to go for 312 with 9 centering. They're just drying up. And when they come up, I see those cards being 350, 400K in no time, you know, and it doesn't matter where the 9 is. I don't think it's really going to matter soon. I think the next PSA 10 that sells will do 750 easy all day long, maybe even close to $1 million. They don't show up.
Yeah.
Hey, Erik, do you have a take on mine and Jeremy's conversation about the Kevin Durant exquisite gold, the 35 versus the Jordan limited logos? We had a good back and forth on that at the beginning, and they're basically sitting at the same price right now. They're one bid off. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, it's personal preference, right? For me, I prefer the Jordan. You know, I get the reasoning for the Kevin Durant, the exquisite 8. It's the gold. It's a 9. I think there's only 195. It was the one I sold for like nothing a couple of years ago. Me personally, I like the Jordan better at that price. I think better value-wise, because if Durant stays for the Nets, I'm not sure where his ceiling goes. You know, if they get some more help, he could get another ring or two. But I do see the Durant at 360 being the gold. We know those cards have sold for $500-600 plus.
That's right.
So you're right. So I see what the potential play could be. I think your reward is 125 to 175K on either card on where they could go up equally. You know, I do see that the Durant, you're talking 360 out the door. I mean, if he wins this year, next year, the year after, dude, that's 550, 650, $700,000 card. It's a 2X. It's a 2X card.
And you know, we talk in these terms of like, will it 2X? What will it do? The way that I think about this one, Erik, is like LeBron's version of that card is $4.5 million.
Yeah, true.
So like, I'm not saying that it's ever going to be worth that, because LeBron and Durant seem like they're in a different stratosphere. But if he does go win 3 championships, then maybe we're not talking about like 2Xing. We're talking about like a $1 million, $2 million card. I don't know how many. I don't know what the pop is. So I don't know if the patch is of high enough quality. But I do think that like it's when it's a card that's like his best card, that changes the conversation a little bit. You know?
No, yeah. So it's risk versus reward, right? And that's what it boils down to. Your risk on that card is what, 60, 80 grand? Your reward can be 700,000. At that point, you're like a 7, 8, 9X multiplier, your reward versus risk factor. That's how I determine what I buy and what I don't buy.
That's smart.
Is reward versus
Super
risk
smart.
factor.
I brought up this comment from Jeremy Pringle here. Erik, I'm going to cover your face for a moment, but he says, I like the Trae Young color prism, or the Trae Young prism. The color match is sweet. And then the card just happened to come up when the comment came up. So I wanted to put that out there. It is a nice looking Trae Young prism card for sure. Pringle. I want to, Jim says, congrats, Erik, on your Precious Metal Gems red Tim Duncan. Erik, did you get a new card?
I got a BGS 9 Duncan red. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
I'm joining. I have been brought over to the dark side of the PMG people. And I'm excited. I get the giddiness. I get it. It's my first PMG. It is. And so I'm stoked.
Well, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. It's a great club.
We sold a PMG 9 Kobe last month in the premiere for $265.
That's right.
So what I paid for the Duncan, also a 9, plus it's a rookie card, I was totally happy. I love the PMG. And PMGs just across the board. I think we have some Marvel ones coming up next premiere. PMGs are just kind of, they're going across to every area. If they come out in soccer in PMG, that's it. It's over. Game over. Because they're being loved in hockey now. Marvel PMGs are going through the roof. Just everywhere. It's becoming just a craze, and I don't think it's going away.
Yeah. Want to say hi to Tristan Lee. What did you miss? Yeah, you've missed a bunch, man. You've missed a bunch, but thank you for joining. Welcome to the show. Matt Pime says vintage Gordie Howe and Jim Brown seem seriously undervalued when considering modern pricing. Yeah, I agree with that. And good timing on this card to come up. The Cy Young again, the 1903 with I think a total pop of 2 is my guess, unless there's another PSA 1. But Rock Latex makes the comment that the same Cy Young sold for $22,000 in January, and a PSA 2 sold for $45,000 in 2017.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the kind of card where the population is all that matters, because there's only 2 available, right? I'm guessing. I'm assuming there's 2. There might be a couple of PSA 1s, but maybe there's a 1.5 as well. And Thomas Newman says someone was bidding on this chat on the Trae Young. It's at 20,000. It's already 21 since the comment came in.
I also think that cards like the Cassius Clay, the 1960, the hand cut, right?
The Hemmets?
I think, yeah, the Hemmets. I think those cards, I could be going on a limb here. I just think they're way undervalued. Muhammad Ali is arguably one of the most iconic people of that entire century. And I just think those cards in 8s and 9s for what they sell for, I just think that they're way undervalued when we look how things might play out in the next 4 or 5 years. It's vintage, it's high grade, iconic person, culturally loved, just across the board, probably globally a lot more than people would know. And for what it cost, I don't know, man. I mean, I think those are just undervalued cards. It's iconic person.
Hey, Jeremy, what do you think of that Jordan Prism card that just got a bit on it? Do you have feelings on that one?
Yeah, I do. I mean, my feelings have changed over the years. At first, I was like, "What is that eyesore of an example of a card or a sticker?" And since then, I've come to actually like it. I like just how funny looking it is. I love how cartooned up he is. I really like the prismy nature, or the whatever we call that. Yeah, it's like here we go. There's another good view of it. I like the stock. I think it's funny. I like it, man. Now it's bigger. It requires a larger slab, so that's a bit of a point against it for me. But overall, it's a cool card. It's to me, it's not, the money is more than it's overvalued. I believe, but not by a ton. Like if I could buy that for Erik shaking his head, like I would buy one if it was, $5,000, but the 24,000, it's kind of past where I'd spend on a card like that. Erik, please share what has you shaking your head.
The 1985 Prism Jewel is probably one of his most iconic older cards. I think. Now, the print run was so much lower on that than the Nike promo. I do love the Nike promo, but there's a ton of those out there, like a ton. Yep. I think a PSA 8, especially with the Mike Baker sticker on there. If I was a bidding man on this auction, I'd probably be going after that Prism. I love it. I wish it was in a smaller holder. I get that. So the 85 Prism Jewel, if the Nike promo card was an actual regular size card, that card would be worth 5x what it's worth.
So much money.
That card would be worth 80 to 125,000 PSA 10 easy if it was a regular size card. The only knock on the Prism Jewel is the size. But if you've ever held one in your hand, have y'all ever held one of those Prism Jewel cards in your hand?
Super
they're
thin.
so delicate. Yeah, they're so delicate. They're so delicate. And 8 in that card, is extremely high. Most of them you see are going to be 6s, maybe a 7. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I've actually ever held an 8. They're usually in the 6 range is where I see them, 6s and 7s.
I got to jump in real quick and tell you guys, like, I sold all of my oversized cards probably 9 months to a year ago because I just finally decided I don't like oversized cards. And then something happened. And that is, you're going to laugh at this. I moved all of my stuff a couple of months ago or a month ago to the PWCC vault. And I realized if I don't have to fit my cards into a box anymore, I don't care how big they are. And so I went out and I bought a 69 Wilt Chamberlain PSA 8 as soon as I could because I was like, I love that card. I just don't want to fit it anywhere. I sent it to the vault. We're good.
That's hilarious. Yeah, if you don't need to fit them in a box anymore, you can fit them in the vault. That's really funny, Adam. I agree, Eric. I think it's a really cool card, the Prism Jewel. I like I said at first glance, years ago when I saw it, I thought, what is that thing? And now, there's a good view of it again. Where as we're talking, it gets more views. Like I said, I'd love to own one, but it's just for $25K, even in this particular copy, I'd put my money into something different. But it's a very cool card. I love the colors. I love how you've got the 2 images of him on there. It's really cool. It's just a cool piece.
It's so it just screams 1980s. It just screams.
Totally.
Totally. I mean, it screams like you're at the skating rink as a kid. Everything about it just screams. I mean, because I'm born in '78, right? So it just screams like me growing up and trying to get one of those.
Pokemon gets a big box. Box is up to
It came out of one of the old vending machines, right? Like it was.
I believe so.
It's so cool, and I would love to own that card. So maybe I should go. If I had placed a bid on it earlier, maybe I would go do it. But
yeah,
and an 8, like waiting for a 9 is not going to happen. And for a 9 to come up, you're talking like 75, 80, maybe $100,000. I mean, just to have one in 8 with a Mike Baker sticker is plenty. Like that's way enough. That's
all right. Let me go to a few comments here, Eric. So unless you can get your head up higher within your frame, I'm going to cut your head off here for a couple seconds. Eric, just a heads up to you. Tristan Lee, the Kobe 8 of 8 is going to go for big bucks. Wouldn't be surprised if it hits 400K. Well, we will see. Ben V says, has anybody ever altered the number on a hand numbered card to make it look like a more desirable number? Now,
for sure.
You're nodding.
Yeah.
Someone, Tristan says below, it happens quite often. I've never noticed that or even really heard of this type of alteration.
Yeah. So, what I would say about that, Jeremy, is I'm a serial number guy, right? Like I care about serial numbers. There's a big difference between something that's hand numbered, that's serial numbered, and something that's like stamped, because it's going to be significantly more difficult to alter a stamp, right? So, but the good thing in this situation is that we have, and so go check out my IG. It's in my name right there at the Real 27 guy. I did a video like 2 weeks ago. We have 5 of the images of the 8. And so the fact that you have 5 of them and there's only this one 8 of 8 does give you some assurance. It's not perfect, obviously, but the 8 looks like you would expect it to look like too. So I think it's good, personally, my perspective, but go do your diligence on that. And it's a great point. It's a great point on all serial numbered, hand numbered things. Like you want to take a very close look at that.
McDoyle says, great commentary. I gravitate to the GOATs. Can't get excited about a Trae Young. I hear you on that, McDoyle. Dunkachino says, according to Spinatron, there's 19 of the 23 GJ13s accounted for. That means there's perhaps more sitting in some 97, 98 Upper Deck packs still. Definitely could be. Definitely could be. Drew says, Duncan is my favorite player, and he's undervalued, as is the same, and is in the same sets as Kobe. Yeah. Boston Authentic says, McDavid rookie notable numbers had a story behind the hand numbering. Okay. The E107 Cy Young has 2 versions, one ultra rare stamped version, and there's a total pop of 10 with SGC. Were those Cy Youngs, or were those was that a Ty Cobb we were looking at?
Cy Young.
Cy Young. Okay, I said Ty Cobb earlier. Okay.
Yeah, Cy Young. Cy Young's a lot heavier than Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb was kind of a wire fella.
Yeah. This KD SP Authentic gets another bid to $30,000. Like, to me, this card is maybe nicer than the Exquisite.
So on that note, so me personally, going back to what we had talked about earlier, I prefer his Chronology and SP for the money what you're looking to buy. The Chronology patch auto is what, number to 35, and you can get them for 1/7 the cost as an Exquisite. And they only made Chronology 1 year. And to be completely honest, I kind of like the way the Chronology looks better than the Exquisite. Me personally, I'm a huge Chronology lover. I've got a bunch of Kobe's. I sold my patch autos, but I have all the autos. I have a set.
The difference is that the Chronologies, the autograph patch isn't from the base set, right? It's like an insert.
Right. Yeah.
Katie's rookie card, Chronology, is a number to 99. It's a beautiful card. I actually used to own 6 of that card at one point. I love that card.
You're talking about the non-patch auto, just the auto.
That's right. I'll tell you the thing that I would point out on this Kevin Durant, like just a full disclosure on this SP Authentic, is when I see 10-10 on that card, I doubt that. Like I automatically see that and I go, can that possibly be not tampered with? Because I saw a lot of those cards and there's a lot of trimming that went on that card. And so this card doesn't see the typical premium for a crazy high grade as a lot of sets do, because I think most collectors of this type of card would think the same thing that I do on that, which is, am I sure this is good? Like if we resend it in today, are we sure it would still get a 10-10? And I don't say that to turn people off to the card. I'm just saying, like, you know, if this was like, there can't be more than 2 or 3 pop 10-10s on that card. So that's why it doesn't see a 5x multiple, for example.
Interesting.
I would take the chance, definitely, for me.
Yeah, me too. I would too on that one.
Unless it's been called out or something, I would definitely roll the dice on it. I'd hate to not take the chance of winning it.
I love how you've got such a little patch with it's such a nice little patch. When they can make a nice when they can take a small patch window and insert a really nice, interesting, you know, patch with an interesting pattern and color breaks and multicolor, I really like it. And this that card's a good example of that. But Adam, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if that's the case, then if you believe that card is not altered, that's an amazing price for that card. Because I mean, we could look it up right now. There's not more than a couple that are 10-10s, and I'm with Jeremy on this. I think this is where you're going, Jeremy. Like, that card is a fantastic looking card. In a lot of ways, I would take that card the way that it looks over the Exquisite.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Especially put the 300,000 in your pocket.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
What's it at right now?
Take this and pocket the $300,000 difference. So this is numbered out of 299. It looks like. Like, look at that little patch window with 3 colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breaks. I like this. I like drafted second overall right there in gold foil. Like, that's a nice touch on card auto. To me, this is, if I were to buy a Kevin Durant card, even 36K is, you know, beyond what I would want to spend. But this would be the one. I would buy this over that NT or over the Exquisite all day long.
Well, it's 43K. Yeah, out the door. So it's 43 out the door.
I know, Erik. I know. In the door, out the door.
Yeah. So I do like the 5 break 3 color. That's insane.
Yeah, it's very nice.
That's just insane. You
guys, I just got to take a second and go with what Troy is saying here and plug the show and just thank. So, you know, yeah, please, guys, take a sec, hit the thumbs up button on the video if you haven't yet. I do appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, Sports Cards Live, I do want to welcome you to the channel. Please subscribe to Sports Cards Live on YouTube. Greatly appreciate that. Shows every Saturday night. And you won't be disappointed. Lots of great interviews coming. Lots of stuff about to be scheduled way out into the new year as well. So many more episodes to come. So please take a second, hit that thumbs up button on the video tonight, and take a minute and subscribe to the channel. And welcome everybody who's new, and welcome back everybody who's been around for a while. Greatly appreciate all of you, as you well know.
So I might be looking at it wrong, Jeremy, but I just looked at the population real quick. I believe that Kevin Durant in a 10 is a pop 1. So, well,
that's a low price. It should be higher. That's a very rare card.
I take
right, Erik. What do you think, Erik? What?
I take the $45,000 flyer. I take the 40. Yeah, I take that. I mean, because if it's a pop 1. And if Kevin Durant wins one more chip, what's it, 75, 80, 90K? I mean, if the golds go up to $600,000-700,000, that's $110, $120. And what's your risk? $5,000. You know, I mean, pop one, those low pops. I'm looking at stuff on the lower end. Like so I went down to look stuff that are sub 15K, and I look at, you know, again, you look at other stuff that's low pop. That's a good price. You know, I'm scouting out a bunch of stuff down here, man. You know, sorry, I didn't mean to pull off the Kevin.
No, that's fine. Good. It's nice to hear that you're looking at those sub $15,000 cards right now, Eric. But I do want to point out that we're in the final stage of extended bidding now, guys. So
Yep.
the 1 minute, the 1 minute extension every time a bid is placed, the clock will be extended by 60 seconds. So we can see that happening. We're going to come down into the kind of the final bids of the auction here. I don't know how much longer the thing's going to go, but I'm going to guess we got maybe 15 minutes or so left, just based on experience. I do want to address Criminal Minds' question. Want to ask me how selling was at the expo? Was it better than the national? Well, I wasn't selling at the national, but I can tell you selling at the expo was amazing. It was a 4-day show this time for the first time. So Thursday was the new day that was added, and on Thursday, by the end of Thursday, I had already had probably my second or third best expo ever, just on the shortened Thursday. So yeah,
I'm gonna try to be there in the spring.
Yeah, you should come up, Eric. It was great.
I'm really gonna try.
It was great. It was excellent. There were a couple guys from the US that were up there, and I'm like Tim from Slab Strong was up, and Corey from Show Your Slabs, and those guys both felt it was the best card show they'd ever been to, and they'd been to the national, and they're going to all the shows right now, and they both, if you're talking to them on Clubhouse, you're hearing them say that, I'm sure, because they were very they were just shedding praise on the show. So I think that's going to bode well in the spring. I encourage a lot of people to come up once it'll be easier to cross the border, head over to Toronto and come to the expo in Toronto in May. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. I'll be there for sure.
Man, so I want to jump in on a card real quick. So the orange, so it's 2008 Kobe Bryant with LeBron gold. So it's the orange, right? Not the gold, but the orange. A PSA 10 and BGS 10 are bid at the same price at $12,000 before buy premium. I would just take the BGS 10 over PSA 10 at the same exact price. You know, it's the BGS 10's a pop 8. I don't know what the PSA 10 pop is, but I look at those two, and that just looks like clear, easy decision for me. I look at that. Those things were selling for a lot more. I think there's 2 documentaries coming out in 2022. I think Hulu has one for Kobe, and then Netflix and ESPN, I think, had combined, and they're going to do one together. So those just seem like really good deals at that price in the stock.
Yeah. That Legends MJ, it's the first time that I've seen that one. I didn't remember seeing that when we went through. 12.5 for a Legends MJ that's on card. That's not a bad deal. That's a cool.
Oh, it's numbered as well, Adam.
Is it, which one? What's it at? 12. It's 12,000 before buy premium.
The
price
12.5. It's 90. Numbered out of 90.
So for an MJ auto, that's about as big of a group as you'll see. But still, for an original MJ autograph in a Bulls uniform on card, I think that's a solid card right there for that price.
I do too.
You see a lot of them around the $12,000 range. Yeah, you see several of them around there. You know.
I want to bring up a comment here, guys, from Bob's Big Boy. So Eric, I'm going to cut off your head again. He says on the SP Authentic Durant, they technically don't trim the thick jersey cards. They rig up a soft sandpaper and use a belt sander combo to gently remove chipped edges and corners. So there's something I've never heard before. Very interesting. And the Tiger Woods SP Authentic Gold Rookie Auto out of 100 is at $75,000. This seems low to me, to be honest, considering it's the one out of 100, not the one out of 900. It's a beautiful card, BGS 9.5. Eric, do you have a recollection of this card going for more than $75,000?
Oh yeah, the gold. Oh yeah, those things 75 to 100. Oh yeah, yeah. I think 96
right?
is behind that. Yeah, I mean that's just they don't. If Tiger wasn't injured or if he wasn't questionable coming back right now, yeah, that card's 95 to 110 all day. You know, I mean the 1010, the regular version of the 1010. Sorry to move my. At one time I think at 94,000.
Adam, look at the screen. Incredible.
Yeah, there it is. That's I don't know that card's sold for more than that, but like it's 10, and the autograph is as blue as any of those that you'll see. So if you want a Wilt Chamberlain autograph and you want one that's as nice as any other that's out there, this is that. So cool to see that.
That's like isn't that pretty much the apex of Wilt autographs, right? That, or they've got the
other than the gold version of this, yes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's 6 figures, right? Let's be honest, that's 6 figures.
And I've only bid 6 figures on one card ever, Eric.
Ever?
And it was that card.
Oh,
it was.
Did you?
I bid on a gold, and I bid I think I bid 120, and then it sold for like 220 or something, and I was like, oh, it was even close.
I was the second or third highest bidder on the logo man.
Sorry, I just want to say hello to Matt Jones. I like this. I'm here. Just having anything good to add tonight. That's all right. Glad to have you. Big Daddy Cool. I did not make a trade on those 3 Kobe's for my Vince Carter Topps Chrome Refractor. PSA Slab Guy wants to, what's your guys' personal opinion on NBA stickers? I have nothing negative to say about them. I think it makes a lot of sense actually to get an expert opinion on the quality of a card within a certain grade point. I'll let Adam and Erik jump in and share their opinions as well. Adam, what do you think?
I don't have an opinion, pro or con, same as you.
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense, but that's about it.
At first, I was really reluctant to accept them. At first, I just really was kind of I didn't think they had a place in the industry. I wasn't sure. But I'm going to be honest, I've really come around a lot. I mean, a ton to them, because it adds, especially in PSA, because there's a big difference between a beautiful PSA 10 versus one that's, somewhat. And it's really added a lot from my perspective. I look at cards with silver and golds, especially if it's got a black NBA. I really take a second look at those. And what convinced me to kind of accept them within myself is the sales data shows that, I mean, it actually makes a difference in price. It makes a huge difference in price. So regardless of what I may think, eventually I had to just accept the fact that the market has accepted it. The market, on whether it be PWCC or other auction houses, there's a noticeable sales difference. Yeah. So you kind of you got to look for things. If you see, and when I buy cards, if I see a PSA 10 that looks like a really good example for a PSA 10, my first thought is, maybe I should, if I can get it for a good, decent deal, take it to Mike Baker. And if it does a gold, man, that's, I know that there's profit there.
Hey, Erik, on that question, I kind of wonder, does the sticker system that PWCC has with its vault, does it kind of compete with Mike Baker? Are they kind of the same sort of idea, or is there some sort of differentiation between the two?
No, it's basically the same exact idea. The only difference would be is that we add ours, and it's internal within our own structure, our micro ecosystem, if you would. Whereas Mike Baker, he's a standalone individual who does that with no affiliation in any other form or fashion. So and I'm not sure that the PWCC eye appeal is something that I don't know if other auction houses leave those stickers on there or not, or if they remove them when they run. I don't know if that's something that they want to do. Whereas Mike Baker, you see the Mike Baker sticker everywhere. And
good point.
But they're basically the sales. So if something sells on our site, and what I see selling on other sites, if it's got a Mike Baker silver or gold or black, it's the sales data. It's going to be pretty much identical as what it would be top 30, 15, or 5% with PWCC.
Makes a lot of sense. And what you were saying was that PWCC only attaches their eye appeal designations to cards that come through their system. You can't just send a card to PWCC and ask for an assessment, but Mike Baker is open to anyone who wants to send their cards to him, which makes sense. People who understand who Mike Baker is and what his experience is, and that he's he was an original grader and has an eye for cards, that people who appreciate that will assign value to cards where he puts his top stickers on. So it makes a lot of sense to me. And as I've said a million times, and other people have said too, there's not just one PSA 8. There's there's an infinite amount of PSA 8s. And there's many different qualities or levels of quality of PSA 8, PSA 7, and all the other grade points out there. So to be able to say this is strong for the grade, and if you are not comfortable to do that yourself and you want that third party, then it makes sense to me that you would spend some money to get that opinion.
And I think Mike Baker does all cards, whereas I believe, I could be wrong, I should know this, right? I believe PWCC just does vintage cards or cards, I want to say 86 or 87, about that mid 80s or older. So they're not putting that stuff on 2021 stuff, whereas Mike Baker, it is applicable to all cards.
Interesting.
Right. Ooh, look at this LeBron Exquisite that just came up there. That's a beautiful card with that 3-color patch and the on-card auto, a 26.5.
Hey,
that's a beautiful card.
I got a question for. Oh, sorry, Jeremy. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
As we looked at this earlier, LeBron has 50. I think it was 53 cards in this auction, whereas Jordan and Kobe both have 31 and 32. I would be surprised if that's the usual ratio between the three. Is there a reason why we're seeing that many LeBrons in an auction? Do you guys have any thoughts on that, or is that? Am I just thinking?
Yeah, I mean, he's playing, right? I mean, the Lakers are playing. I mean, and these cards were scheduled at the mid last month to come in. So,
that makes sense.
I mean, right, you're talking early. Most people want to peak. They want to put their stuff in either at the end of preseason or the first 20 games in basketball of the regular season. Because usually stuff starts to kind of get stale or stagnant around mid-season. And then the teams that make it in the playoffs peak. So you either want to do the beginning of the season or the beginning of the playoffs to sell your stuff.
I just to Terry Fortune, I had to cancel my trip to the Western Canada show. Unfortunately, very disappointed, but it did open up tonight to do this, so there's a silver lining there for sure. But unfortunately, I could not make it out to the Vancouver show that I've been excited for and talking about for a few months. But I hope they're having a great time out there. And also, Terry, there's one Gretzky rookie in the auction of PSA 8, an OPG.
But there's
PSA slab guy says, I like PWCC putting the sticker on the back of the slab versus Mike Baker on the front. Makes sense. And PSA slab guy also lets us know that PWCC only stickers 86 and older. So they'll only provide eye appeal assessments to cards from 86 and beyond. And Jake wants to know, would PWCC ever open up the sticker to later dates? Asking in regard to 96 chromes and greening type situations.
Great call.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I honestly can't answer that one.
I'm going to say no, Eric. I'm going to say they won't. I'm going to say the PWC will stick with what they're doing. That's my guess.
They've kind of got it. They've got it right. So they just want to stick with what's working. I will say
just
this.
like
I was just
sorry, Eric. I was just going to say it's like Beckett vintage grading, right? That's I believe 79 and older, and then it's BGS from 80 forward. So I don't think you're not going to see a shift in that. I see that being similar, but I'm sorry. Go ahead and say what you're going to.
Let's go to wax for a second. Well, I mean, you know this better than me, Jeremy. What do you think about the OPG box? I mean, I just look at wax
Isn't
sometimes.
It a Topps box?
Oh, it's a Topps box. Okay, my bad. You're right. I stand corrected. What's an OPG box go for?
An OPG box. Well, what's the Topps one at now? I had it originally in my top 29 or so items. It's at 32. The OPG is going to go for like 150.
Oh wow! Oh, yeah.
This is cheap. This is cheap.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, you're probably going to get 2 Gretzky rookies in this box, and a PSA 9's worth what, 50 grand or so. So
that's why I brought it up. I felt like that was cheap, and I felt like the Skybox 1996 case, like a 6-box case, a sealed case of EX2000. I mean, now, granted, the number 8 and number 24 credentials have been pulled, so those are the big ones. But still, I mean, there's a lot of just sealed cases of anything that old to me. Just I don't know, man.
I hit refresh. Oh. 5,
Wait,
4, 3, 2.
No, we got a bid.
Oh, there's a bid. We almost had the auction over there, guys. But Tom Brady to the rescue. The refractor hitting 37,000. And the Josh Allen Immaculate 101 at 24. That's it. Like Immaculate's just so beautiful. Yeah. Even with that NFL shield in there. What a nice looking card.
Yeah. One of the patterns that we've seen over the last few months is when we get that moment that we just had there, where it gets down to the last few seconds. The first time that happens, then we'll see 5 or 6 bids all at the same time. And it makes sense, right? People want to wait to the end. But the fact that we only just saw 2 in that last 5 seconds makes me kind of go, we might not be far off right now. Is all I'm pointing.
Less than 10 minutes. I think we're like 5 to 10 minutes off.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, we're 15 minutes into the 1 minute, and I think I was said like 15 to 17. I was thinking 15, 16, 17 minutes. So we'll see if we're close. You guys think about 10 minutes left? I think we're done within 10 minutes here too.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think the big ones that I'm shocked about right now is the Allen number to 99 PSA 1010. It's a 230. That's a I mean, it's a beautiful card. Don't get me wrong. I mean, very low pop 1 of 1. So that's crazy. That's
it's a lot of risk in that, though, right? There's a lot of risk in putting that kind of money into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's risk versus reward, right? You know, I mean, 230. That's huge risk. But I mean, he wins a Super Bowl or 2. It's 750. You know, I stick with me personally a lot more of the probably players that don't play anymore. And that's the best way to say that. That's kind of where I'm at. That's me. But teach his own. But on the flip side, the stuff I own probably isn't going to 10x, doesn't have a chance of 10x over the next 3 years either. You know, so whereas I think Herbert and Josh Allen, I like Burrow, but I like Herbert and Allen. Those 2 guys right now they got some talent, man. They have some raw talent there, and they're pretty decent teams.
I want to go to PSA Slab Guy's comment here. So Erik, pardon me as I block you again, but he says stickering the Kobe Topps Chrome would be odd because it could further green after it was assessed. I don't think you need an expert to determine eye appeal on those. I agree with that comment. Adam, what about you? Any thing to add or not to that?
When he mentioned the Kobe, I actually first thought about other sets of the 90s basketball. I thought about PMG Reds. Like that would be really interesting to have that assessment on those cards. I personally need help on the Topps Chromes because I'm colorblind and I can't tell when they're green. But my problem there is probably different than everybody else's.
I'm colorblind myself, Adam, and that's why I no longer buy and sell the refractors because I'm very, very bad. I only see like 7 colors. So that's why I don't dabble in those anymore. And I'm actually, the reason why the black labels, one of them has slight greening and one doesn't, is because when I owned them, I left one setting on top of the other one for like half a year in my bedroom. And I didn't notice it because I was colorblind that it started to slightly turn. And once that happened and somebody pointed it out to me, that's when I decided to sell them.
Incredible. Oh, look at the clock. Oh, no, there we go.
5. Oh, no. Okay. What got a bid, fellas?
The Prism.
Let's see. So a little bit of story on that.
There were 2 bids. There were 3 bids that time. So maybe we do still have some time. Hey, Jeremy, can I just point out something on BCF real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So we have this is this month's cover, by the way, the Kobe. This is our special 90s issue. This one's still in the wrapping. But for our back issue, PWCC sponsors it. And I always wonder how they do at analyzing what the big 3 cards are versus the other ones that come after that. I think they did pretty well. I'm small on my screen.
I'm trying to make it big. Hold on.
So I think it's interesting. They've got these big 2 ones that we were talking about the whole time, but they're with you, Jeremy. I just thought about this. They've got Durant down there on the bottom, and they've got LeBron up here on the top. So they were more along your lines too.
Whoa, look at that. I've never had this view before with us along the bottom. That's a new one. That must be a new one. Oh, we're gone all together. Let me find. There we go. No. There we go. StreamYard's added some new functionality I haven't really experimented with yet. Tyler says I'm colorblind. If I have to ask my girlfriend if I have to ask my girlfriend if my clothes match, I can't be buying 90s refractors. At least you know your limits, Tyler. At least you know your limits. So Adam just showed the BCF Magazine Basketball Card Fanatic on the ticker right now. If anybody is interested, and you should be, go to bcfmag.com, and that's where you can subscribe to the BCF magazine. Dan Silvershine of Collectible, welcome, buddy. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. It is going well. We're having a great time. Hope you're having a good night, pal. Go to bcfmag.com, and you can subscribe there to Adam's magazine, issue number 15. Adam, you're at issue number 15 already. Why don't you just kind of give us a quick synopsis of how the first year and a quarter have gone? It seems like I can't believe you're already at issue 15.
It has flown by. It's been far more of a time commitment than I would have ever guessed. But it turns out running a magazine is a lot of time. But I will tell you, it's not. People do what you just did. They say this is Adam's magazine. I do maybe 10% of the work. You've got people who are writing. You've got a full time. We've got a guy who's the full time designer. He's my partner in this, and he's the reason that the magazine's like that. It turns out looking like this, and I'd open it up and show it to you guys, but it's we've got a list of people who would love to write for the magazine, and they are the reason that it's a success.
Can we give him a shout out? Who is the
Black Griffin Cards on Instagram? Cards. Yeah,
okay.
And
give him a shout out.
He's amazing, Eric. I got to get you a hard copy because I know you got some digital ones early, but you haven't gotten one of those yet. I got to get you one.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. Adam, when you first started doing it, I was like, man, I hope it lasts. And now it looks like it's going to be the flagship for our hobby. A lot of people. Well, and it's not that you have a bunch of new people that buy your product, right? It's like you have a lot of the I should say the OGs of our industry that read it and talk about it, man. So, and if it's accepted by like the people who really know the hobby, it's going to be around a long time. And a lot of people talk about it behind the scenes. It's got a lot of people that, read it.
When PWCC was willing to sponsor it, I couldn't have been any more grateful. And the crazy thing that's happened since then is I don't want to, basically everybody has offered to sponsor the magazine. And at some point you can't have everybody. But it's about collecting. It's about passion. It's about people who actually care about cards, not just about finances and stuff, but there's some of that, but it's about the cards. And it is so much work. Holy crap, it's so much work.
It's a magazine.
It's
one
so
sec,
good
guys.
though, and we love doing it.
One sec, just as we're down to 7 seconds here, I want to jump in for a sec. Let's see if this is going to be it. It is not it. There's a bit on the LeBron. There's a bit on the LeBron. I want to just go to Damon's comment here. Have you guys talked about the Steph rookie patch? It's small, no signature, but beautiful. I think he's not talking about this one because this one has a signature.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Which one is that? So that one that you just pulled up, what's that at right now? That
one's at 22.5. I'm not sure which one Damon is talking about because there's no Curry cards that don't have a signature in here.
Maybe he meant that one. Maybe he meant that it's a sticker auto.
He meant sticker auto, so he did mean this one. Yeah. So we want to know if we talked about it. We hadn't. I mean, I did look at it. I don't think it's beautiful, but that's just me. The patch is nice, but I do not like the looks of this card. I've never been a fan of certified just from an aesthetic perspective. So this card does nothing for me, but what do you guys think?
I mean, it is an autographed patch card of Steph Curry from his rookie year, and that's enough for it to be in the printer auction. Yep. But I'm with you, Jeremy. It's not like I look at it and go, "Oh, I need that card. Oh, it's significant. Oh, it's a sticker autograph. It's not notable, but it's still Steph, and he's the hottest thing in the world right now, right?" So,
man, I look at it. So there are a lot of cards that I passed on because they weren't Apex of Players cards early years ago. And I would have made a lot more money had I bought those before. Like there's a buddy of mine I know named Nate. I don't even know if my buddy Nate has ever owned an exquisite LeBron card because he couldn't afford them years ago. But he bought all of the second, third, and fourth tier LeBron cards and has made millions of dollars by not going all in on big cards. The cards like the certified, dude, it's numbered to 5. How many numbered to 5? If it was an on card, that's like $150,000, $175,000.
That's right.
Right. So the fact that it's a sticker, I'm not a big sticker fan myself either, but you're getting it 1/5 of the price. I look at Curry, like he doesn't rely on jumping. He's a shooter. And he probably is going to win 1 or 2 more rings, and he's probably got another 3 to 5 more years left in him. I don't see how if they keep going at the pace that they're currently, they probably can't go at the same pace, but if they keep playing the way they're playing, dude, that is a steal of a card from my opinion, though. I mean, it's a number to 5 patch auto from his rookie year. I mean, you're not finding those anymore. They're just dwindling away.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was to 5. That's a great call, Eric.
Nor did
Number
I.
5, bro. Number to 5. 3 colors, not a one color. I mean, it's number to 5. Like that card, if it was on card, that is probably a 200K card, in my opinion.
For sure.
I mean, and I look at it. When the customer reached out to us, I wasn't aware that there was a number to 5. Right? I mean, because you just don't. It's people that gobble those up are probably the same people that gobble up his national treasures and his prisms and stuff, his other rare stuff, and they just get locked away. They're just gone. And you probably won't see another one of these for probably 3 years, I would think.
Okay. No, I want to go to a couple more comments that have been posted about that card because it's they tie in well. So I'm going to pull it up again. Damon, who made the comment, is what I like about it is the way the patch interacts with the design on the card and the player photo. With larger patches, sometimes you lose that. So I kind of see what he's saying there. The patch is kind of front and center on this card where the auto is a sticker, so it's a little bit less enticing. And the picture of Steph Curry, you're basically shoulders up, right? So the card itself focuses more on the mem than it does the player himself, I believe. He also says it's like the patch is where his jersey should be, right? That makes sense to me. The way, Damon, the way you said that there, I get that. That resonates with me the most so far for sure. AO Rhino says, would a jumbo patch of that Curry card go for more? Interesting question. I mean, maybe not. I think the serial numbering is most important, followed by the type of auto, followed by the just the overall eye appeal. It's all those things are sort of important. I'm also going to just go to Jacob's comment here. Nice to see you at the expo as well. And the show in May, the tentative dates I believe are May 5th to 8th, May 5 to 8, but not in stone yet. That could change. And PSA Slab Guy wants to know is leading Basketball Card Fanatic your full-time job, Adam? I can just answer for him and say it is not. Adam has a full-time job. And Logan Ward says stickers, boo. That's a pretty common sentiment there, Logan. And great to see you, buddy. Great to see you. Question for Erik from Criminal Mind. How much would you say sticker autos devalue a card as compared to on-card auto?
Well, again, if that was an on-card auto, that'd be well over 150K, so, but in some situations, we don't know because they didn't make an on-card version. Like in all the certifieds, there are no on-card versions, right? So we just have to accept it for how it is, especially if you look at some of the players like 2013 Prism, where all there is just sticker autos. So we don't really know and to that effect, but it does make a difference. It absolutely does make a difference. And sometimes it's not really that big of a deal. So this card might go for under 30K, and you look at what's your risk on that. Your risk is basically zero at that point. And, because it's a Steph Curry number to 5 rookie patch auto, they don't exist. And the only other, what do his national treasures go for? $500,000 now. So,
Exactly.
you want a low serial numbered patch that has an autograph period on it. Your options are low.
And he doesn't have another autograph patch rookie, I think, other than NT, right? I mean, that's it. We're getting low on the clock here, guys.
Clock. Yeah. 4, 3, 2, bid. We got another minute added on. Luca to the rescue this time. The Luca logo man to the rescue. Corey Carr, yes. I missed the Vancouver show this weekend. I had, as I mentioned earlier, had to cancel my trip. And glad you had a good time, man. Glad you had a good time. Hope the show is a great success for everybody there. Kevin Walsh is glad PWCC implemented the half bidding. Erik, any comment on half bidding implementation?
No,
as you are a PWCC employee.
Right. Yeah, we talked about it. We felt like it was something that we'd try, and hopefully it's something that we keep. We're trying to grow and evolve to make our customers happy, right? I mean, you don't want to just kind of get stuck in one. This is how we're doing it. We want to understand the way to maximize buyers' opportunities as well as be fair to the sellers as well. So I think that's something that we're probably going to keep for the long haul.
What is half bidding? I don't know what that is.
So that it's a half bidding to where you don't have to do the full amount. Does that make sense?
It's a lower increment.
Oh,
right.
Okay, totally. Yeah, that's awesome. I actually, I like that idea. I love it.
Well, because sometimes when they get up there in price,
Yep.
I know for me, let's say there was another auction, I was bidding on that Logoman, the 1-of-1 Kobe, and the increments got in like 50K, and you're thinking, geez, but I mean, do we get a bid? And is that it?
No,
was
no,
it.
Luca
Okay.
to the rescue twice. The
There you
bid
go.
came
Me and
in.
people are fighting over it. But yeah, the half bidding. Sometimes when they get up there kind of high, if you can do a half bid, then that makes it a lot more palatable. And again, it helps the buyers and the sellers.
Yes, Uncommon Curator, the Vancouver show was still a go this weekend because the flooding issues were not apparently too bad in the lower mainland area. So the show was still a go. AO Rhino really enjoys these shows. Thank you, AO Rhino. Glad to have you. He also says, how much less would that Curry be without an auto altogether? Adam, you want to take first shot?
I mean, way less. Even though it's a sticker, it's still his autograph. A patch. Yeah, a patch from his rookie year would be cool, but I mean, you're talking about a couple $1,000 card probably.
So, Adam, is that probably? Did they not make any other patch autos for Curry other National Treasures? Just
I don't know of anything off the top of my head. I don't
either.
That's not
If
something
that's the case, that's a good deal at $30K. That's a real good deal. I mean, look, what do you think about the kabooms, the gold? So you see the gold Brady kabooms. I guess those are actually kind of holding the golds, like 30, 40, 50K. I thought they kind of peak and fall back, but the golds seem to be really desirable. Doesn't matter the year, really.
I think it's a nice card. Go ahead,
Adam. I think that golds, sorry, Jeremy. I think that golds and the number 10 have kind of ruled the day for the last 2 years. And it's the first insert that you thought that's an insert, a gold insert, number to 10. And when I saw him, we had people talking about him all of a sudden. It was like, oh, what is that? My mind's kind of started to change on him. I look at him and I feel like there's some staying power there. Maybe I'm wrong, but like as far as cool inserts of the Panini era goes, they're on the list, right?
Yeah, I mean they're gold. Like you said, it's gold number to 10. If something's going to stick around, gold prism, anything low serial numbered like that. And they don't have any. They've only got one variation. They've got there's two variations gold, but the original, like you said, the first ones, the older ones, those are definitely going to stay around for a while, man.
Guys, for everybody who's in the audience, just let y'all know next Saturday on the show, my guest is going to be Chris Sewell, who is from the YouTube sensation show, the channel, I should say, Baseball Card Collector Investor Dealer, in that order. If you're not watching his YouTube channel, you probably have heard of it. And he will be joining me on next Saturday, November the 27th. So be sure to join Chris and I then. I'm looking forward to that. He is really a great hobbyist. He has a great YouTube channel, amazing content. Many people consider him their favorite YouTube channel out there. So check it out and join us next Saturday on the channel. As I will be speaking with him, and we're going to go for as long as we can. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Hey, Jeremy, that Duncan that just got a bid, I had somebody who sent me a message on that saying, man, somebody's just going to steal that. You got me thinking earlier with Erik talking about his PMG red Duncan that he just got. I love that line of thinking. Like, if Kobe's selling for what, then what should the Duncan be worth, that sort of thing. When you look at a Duncan logo man, like there's just not a lot of those, and especially pre-Panini, Upper Deck era, like that's a cool card.
What's it at right
for
now?
For 12.5.
Let's have a closer look at it.
Duncan is the most undervalued. Of course, I own a car, right? So I think he's the most undervalued NBA player ever. That's my opinion.
I've got him. He's number 5 on my all-time list. I'm a huge fan of Tim Duncan. He's just not as collectible as those other guys are. But having said that, he's got people who love his high-end stuff. So I'm pretty surprised this one's sitting there at 12.5 right now.
Let me look at it.
Well, there's no auto. There's no auto is one thing. I don't think it's the best looking card. Personally, I don't love this sort of aesthetic here, these angles. I don't love the card. His hair looks a little funny in this picture compared to what I'm used to seeing him in, but actually I like it. But
it's a 1 of 1 though. Is that game used?
Oh, it's a 1 of 1. It's game used, and he doesn't have autographed logo man. So it's not like there's something out there.
Yeah, he didn't. People don't understand. Duncan doesn't sign a lot. Like he didn't sign a lot at all. Like he's very. When you start looking at the things that Duncan did or didn't do, the cards they did or didn't make for him.
That's right.
I mean, finding his up. Yeah, I mean, when you start getting into the weeds of Duncan stuff, like you said, there are no Duncan autograph logomans.
I had his finest moments autograph. That's the one where he's holding both the trophies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching the clock right here, though. 3,
2.
2, 1. Oh,
Bid.
Interlakes.
I think
That's a great deal. I agree with you, Adam. 12.5, so 15K out the door
Yeah.
for one. It's not a 1 of 3. It's not a 1 of 5. It's a 1 of 1.
Yeah.
That's a steal. I mean, game used Logoman. Those don't. Yeah, they're not going to show up. You know.
But all you're buying that for is the logo, man, because
For sure.
there's nothing else great about this card, in my opinion. I just don't like the looks of it.
Yeah, but if you're a big Duncan collector, like you don't have very many opportunities in a 1 of 1 logo. Man.
Yeah, no, that's fair. What I do like about it, I'll tell you though, is how the logo man itself is like the main feature of the card. It's front and center. It's almost like the picture of Tim Duncan himself is a secondary thought to this card. He's behind the logo man. So let's just go to the main page here for a second. 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's over, guys. It's over.
Oh, no.
Did
Wow.
it.
That's it. The last bid is the Tom Brady refractor in a BGS 8.5.
I was a little off. I estimated the auction would end at 11.7, and it ended at right at 12 million. So I was $250,000 off at the total.
So Erik, you can already see the total revenue of all the cards in the auction.
Out the door is $12 million and $12,000.
Just over $12 million in basically sales for PWCC on this premiere. That includes the buyer's premium. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yep.
There
12
you
million,
go.
12,000. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do a quick refresh then and look at the top cards in the auction and see how that all played out.
The Mahomes won, didn't it?
The Mahomes came in first place, thankfully, at $456,000, beating the box of Pokemon in number 2 at $432. Followed by, Adam was right, the Kevin Durant exquisite RPA at $360,000 in third. Fourth place is the Michael Jordan. They actually, beat it by $24,000. Fifth place is the BGS 9.5 Tom Brady Bowman Chrome Refractor at $312,000, followed by the PSA 7 52 Topps Mickey Mantle at $312 as well. We have a few at $312. Also, the Michael Jordan, another Michael Jordan PSA 10 rookie sells for north of $300,000. Then there is the LeBron James, the Kobe with LeBron Topps Gold Refractor PSA 10 out of 50, $312,000. Here's our favorite card of the auction, the Kobe Bryant Upper Deck Game Patch Auto 8 of 8, does $288,000. And in number 10 is the Justin Herbert National Treasures RPA PSA 10 for $240,000. Continuing on, we got the Topps Chrome Refractor Kobe at $228, the Tom Brady SB Authentic BGS 10 at $204. And I will just keep going. The Michael Jordan Jersey Auto at $192. The Patrick Mahomes RPA at $192. One of my favorites in the auction, the LeBron James Ultimate at $168. And on and on. Everyone can go see for themselves. But if we even look at the number of cards over $100,000, you got 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 20. 20 cards sold for over $100,000 in this auction. Not a bad stat. Not a bad stat at all.
That was Kobe's first dual jersey number patch auto, right? That one. That's the first one they ever made for him, right?
Well,
2000.
there's some debate. There's an interesting thing about that that we didn't talk about. He has 3 cards from that first year, but no one's really sure what Series 1 is and what Series 2 is.
That's right.
Seriously, of the 5 that are graded, 2 of them are labeled as Series 2 and 3 of them are labeled as Series 1. I don't think Beckett has any idea which one's Series 1.
I don't think anybody does. I know. I really wanted that card because I have his last dual jersey number patch auto ever made. I wanted to get at the bookends. I love that card. But I was keeping the one I have. I have the last 8 of 8 ever made.
Oh, you have the last 8 of 8 ever made.
Yeah, it's the Panini flawless Panini patch auto, and it actually has a patch from a 1996 rookie jersey in it.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool. I wish I knew somebody who had one of those first autograph patches, Erik.
It's It's awesome. It's true.
Okay, I'm going to go to a couple of comments, guys, and we are going to wrap this up. But PSA Slab Guy, Erik, a question for you. If PWCC is seeing more international bidders, seems like the growth could explode if international buyers really increase in the future. Can you speak to, are you seeing more international bidders on the platform?
Yes, we're definitely going further and further, trying to reach, especially into the Asian community. Either December or January, I'll be traveling across all of South Korea, and I'll also be exploring into other Asian countries as well. But yeah, we're getting a lot more Asian because we can now approve people directly now that we're on our own website. Right, we now have complete autonomy over that. So definitely, we're able to do that a lot more, and we can break up not break up the invoices, but people can pay their invoices in multiple different ways. So we put some on a credit card, some bank wire, maybe pay with some future auctions for cards. So that really helps the Asian community come in and other people across the world.
Awesome. Brian Basketball, great show. Thank you, Brian Basketball. Says, how much do you think the fact that Curry broke Ray Allen's 3-point record affects Ray Allen cards and his legacy? That's a good question. I mean, I don't know the answer. I'm going to say that I think it brings attention to Ray Allen, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing for Ray Allen. I think and I don't think it's necessarily a good thing for Steph Curry. It's not a bad thing for Steph, but it's been known for a while it was going to happen. People know what day or so it's going to happen. So I don't know that it's going to have much of an effect at all. Maybe a little bump, but by a bump, I mean a bump, one of those, because it was going to happen anyway. But either of you have any other comments on that?
I agree with you completely. Nailed it.
Yeah, I don't think it affected either one, because we knew 2 years ago that Steph Curry was going to break Ray Allen's record.
Exactly. Criminal Minds says, Erik, if Fanatics hired you as a member of its design and innovation team, what would be the first thing you'd do?
I'd rather not answer that.
You don't have to. Adam, do you want to answer it?
I'm probably on an island. I think Panini's done a fantastic job, and so I would probably say go try to do it. Try to buy Panini. That would be the first thing that I think they should do.
So on that next, real quick, I would say buy Upper Deck. I love the innovation.
Upper Deck's not for sale.
Yeah. Well, maybe Upper Deck isn't for sale, but you can track down the artists that designed the cards that no longer work for Upper Deck. The people that designed the stuff in the 90s and the 2000s. The people, because not the whole team isn't still there. If the company itself isn't for sale, you can hire those artists, because you want to be able to recapture the nostalgia of the late 90s and the early 2000s. And I think
Upper Deck just hired that artist. So Gene McLeod.
Did they? I didn't know that.
Upper Deck has Gene McLeod exclusive for sports cards now.
Yes. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Carvin for a second.
Oh, no, I didn't. But check out this next comment is great from Birds on a Bat. The stream in a nutshell. Adam says, I love this card. It's significant. It's historic. It's important, etc. Jeremy, yeah, but it looks like crap. Thank you for that very astute summary, Birds on the Bat. That's great. That is great. Damon thought the Logo Man was funky too. Alex won a Grail. Super pumped. Ooh. Congratulations, Alex. Can't wait to see what you bought.
Yeah.
Kevin Walsh wants to know too. And JH says the best set, first year Prism 2012-13 basketball or 2008 Topps Chrome basketball. What is the best first year? What is the best set between those two? Adam, you go first.
It's 2012.
Yeah.
2012. How about you, Erik?
Yeah, same. I mean, that's 12 years after Topps Chrome came out. So yeah, I'll take 2012 Prism. And I'm not even a Prism lover, but I would definitely take 2012.
There you go. Kevin Walsh won the 2021 Prism Khabib auto. Congratulations. And Alex won the 96 Kobe credentials. Yes, I'll give you a hand. That was one of my favorite cards in the auction. Congratulations, Alex. What a beautiful card. Stunning. Well done. Okay, that is going to wrap up this show, guys. We are almost at 3 hours. We are going to wrap it up. Erik, thank you so much for joining us as the guest star. I promoted this on Instagram as guest starring Erik Myers, because Adam is the regular co-host. So thank you, Erik, for joining. Appreciate having you and for the insights on behalf of PWCC. Adam, as always, thank you so much. To the chat, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We had a very strong viewership throughout. So thank you, everybody. If you hit that thumbs up button, I appreciate it. If you hit that thumbs down button, I appreciate it. Thank you for hitting any button. And if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, please do subscribe. Next Saturday, Chris Sewell from Baseball Card Collector Investor Dealer will be joining me on the channel for a long form interview. We're going to have a great time. And check out bcfmag.com. Give Adam and his team some love. Give them a sub. Check out that magazine. It is excellent, as you likely already know and or have heard. So that's it, guys. We're going to end it. Thank you. Adam, you want to just say goodbye? Goodbye.
Lots of fun. Thanks.
Erik, thanks again, buddy. That's it. Good night. We'll see y'all again next time for the premiere. Take care.